Sci-Fi Vision for June. Well, I guess technically June 3rd, since it's after midnight. It was June 2nd. But welcome everybody
11:59.
Yeah, 11. We're a couple minutes late to Midnight Murderbot.
Oh no!
Yes, it's close enough. But hopefully you guys got here okay. I know Muncher, I see you came at the wrong time. Hopefully you made it back. But yeah, our watch party is always at 10 or at 11, and the live stream is at midnight. If you haven't, yeah, it's still, that's true. It's still June 2nd in your time zone. You're right. So if you haven't, please make sure. I can't type while I talk. I'm so bad at typing and talking at the same time. I don't know why. If you haven't, make sure you join our Discord, which I'm putting the link in the chat. We have our watch parties there before we do our live streams each time. There's also a place that has the schedule for all of our shows. At Sundays now at 11 p.m. Eastern, I have Dead City with Lori. And then on Mondays, obviously at midnight, 11:59 p.m., we have Murderbot. And since we moved that show. And then Tuesdays is a roundup show with Doctor Who and Surreal Estate. That's at 10. And then on Thursdays, Scarlet and I, who this time will be with me this week, have the Librarians, the next chapter, the Illustrious live stream. So make sure you join.
I thought about you because when I was at the hotel, they were having a Librarians marathon of the movies on TBS.
Oh wow, that's cool. That's cool. Have you watched it yet? Have you gotten a chance or?
I have not.
You have not.
I've been gone from like Thursday to Monday. Like it's been nonstop, like steampunk con party, music festival stuff.
You need to chill down and watch some TV. But no, but hopefully you'll enjoy it. But I'm glad that you're back. So welcome back. So why don't you start out? What did you think of this week's Murderbot?
I felt so many things. I felt confusion at even the name of the show. I felt grossed out when a certain ship did a certain thing.
When a certain ship did when it squashed it, yeah.
Well, not giving it away till we get to it. And I was like charmed by the whole Sanctuary Moon stuff.
Yeah, I love the Sanctuary.
So it was multifaceted.
And it was cool to see him in it. I mean, I know he wasn't really in it, but to see him in it. I don't know why my chat in blog or in StreamYard is not updating, because I can see people chatting in YouTube, but it's not showing up on StreamYard. So I'm gonna have to kind of keep my eye on both of them. But welcome, Amy. I'm glad you like the show too. DJ, Luncher, thank you all of you for coming. I apologize for the quality of the images, and they were cropped a little bit, but I had some issue finding a place to get them from this week. So they are not in HD, but they are at least usable, hopefully, for the most part. They're good. They're good enough.
They're good enough to tell the story.
They're enough. Yeah, right. They're enough to tell the story. Although I realize, because I am so, I don't know what I'm doing today. I'll just say it that way. My brain is, I guess maybe I got a robot brain. I don't know. I'm like,
I've been in 3 different states. I'm like just all over the place.
So you understand then what I feel like. No, it's just I'm like, where are my notes? And I'm like, oh wait, you didn't download it from your iCloud, you idiot.
So my notes are in my head because I just watched it.
Well, that's fair, but at least you've just seen it. I'm just trying to get my Word open here. It's sticking, so just give you 1 second.
I think it's also kind of cool that they opened this world up a little bit further with these workers and stuff.
Yeah, and that we're going. Well, I guess right now everybody we've seen, other than the other sec unit, are dead. But it's still nice to see something different, right?
Yeah.
Even if it's pretty much the same. But yeah, it was nice to see this sort of, I don't know, again, this is because of the weird thing, but they're a little bit out of order there. But we get to see what goes on the Corporation Rim as they are creating these droids, these sec units, and putting them together. And I don't know that, like, this part was kind of extra. I don't know it was necessary, but I thought it was kind of cool to see how they make the robots.
It
Some
was necessary for just
but
one thing. They explained the face thing. Well,
yeah,
kinda.
kind of. The one,
But good enough for
well,
me.
yeah, the one guy's like, why do they look all different? He's like, so we can find them if they go rogue.
Yeah.
But these people that work there, which surprised me, is that they're all indentured servants, which
Yeah.
obviously we don't have anymore, but that's something that they had back then.
Mm.
And that guy sneezes in his helmet. Poor guy. That's got to be awful, right?
Ugh. Yeah.
But they're like being forced to work there for whatever it is, 15. I forget what they said. One had I think
Yeah.
12 years, one had 8
Yeah,
years.
it was something
Yeah,
like that
there are a
because she
lot
was
of
working off like the last like 8 years or something.
yeah. I'm not sure what that says about humanity that we have indentured servants again, but I guess at least it's not slavery. But I mean they're agreeing to it. But I'm kind of
Yeah.
curious why these people are there, if they owe the corporation, what's that about? Um, Kimberly says regarding the scene that shows them creating the sec units, do you think the power outages might have caused some variation with the sec units? That's a good question. I forgot the power went out. I don't know. I mean, they kind of flew it off, but at the same time, they're like, well, yeah, this is great to have happen at a place where there's, robots that can kill you in the middle
Hmm.
of it. Their security maybe isn't that great. I mean, who knows? Maybe it happened when he was created and it allowed him to hack his system. I don't know if we'll ever know. What do you think about that?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I guess the main thing I was saying is that, like, when they were talking about like the hands and the one hand wasn't really done well,
And he's like, it's good enough.
that maybe some of them, maybe even worse things had slip through,
Yeah.
causing
Yeah,
variants.
I thought that was kind of awful. He did not do a great job at he's like, should I start over? It's like, nah, it's good enough. So their quality control isn't the best, I guess, at this place. Um, so we have these other workers here. This is where you were talking about where the guy asked her, he's like, why do they all have different faces? And she's like, well, if they get away, we can find them easier.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of wonder if it's
Did he say? Did he? Oh, sorry.
no, go ahead. Go ahead. Please stop me if I
No, I
talk too
mean,
much. Go
didn't
ahead.
he say like? Did he ask her how many go rogue? Like if it's a
Yeah, how many
regular thing.
yeah, and she says something like all the time, don't you watch the news feed? Sometimes they come back and kill the trainee who made them. So she's trying to
Great.
scare him.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
That's still
that's great. Um,
probably grain of truth.
yeah, they're not. It's not real great. I love though how he's like comparing it to a hospital and talking about like how disturbing human hospitals are and their operating systems are just DNA. So it's not. Yeah, he's in a very different place. I don't know if that. It's curious that they do have different faces. If that's really the reason. I mean, obviously that was sarcasm, probably. So it's hard to tell, but they do come from real human DNA, so it kind of makes you wonder,
Mhm.
like,
Yeah, I
why
had all
not just
these.
pick one and
Sorry.
because I don't think they ever intend to have to take their helmets off, right? That was not the intent. That was his intent, but nobody else's intent. So I wonder
Uh,
sometimes why they even have faces. Like, what was the point? Because they
Yeah,
don't
I
want them
like
to
this
see,
photo though
right?
because all the faces are in jars behind them. And it looks really
Yeah, that's
ominous.
really creepy. Um, let's see. I'm going to start this one. That's about a little bit later. Muncher. We'll get when we get to. Let's see. Amy says every time he watched his show and the people talked to him to make him turn it off, cracked me up. Yeah, I love how he's trying to watch his soap opera and not listening to what anybody says, and it's like, oh man, he does not enjoy that. But I did want to go back to the thing about because I forgot I had it written here about the power going off. It's when he says like there's rigorous quality control and we hear Murderbot's voiceover saying you wouldn't want to. He says something like you wouldn't want to produce a depressed. I forget what else he says, but a depressed Murderbot. I didn't write the whole thing down, but yeah, their quality control isn't great. So who knows? Maybe they made him the way he is. But it just kind of makes me wonder because they do look different. Like if they each have maybe even the personality of a like real person or something. I mean, they do have
Mhm.
human DNA, and it obviously that's what the whole story is
But
about. Is
maybe their mistakes here and the indentured servants are what makes the robots human.
maybe, but I have to say, probably if you're an indentured servant, you aren't doing the best work you could because you're not getting paid.
But I'm saying
So
with those mistakes comes human personas. from the
maybe.
mistakes,
Yeah, maybe. But
making it kind of a satire of humanity.
yeah. It does make you, I don't know, it just makes me wonder though why they even have faces. Like if they're gonna keep them behind the helmet and they don't want you to look at them as human, like what
They
is the
go
point?
rogue.
But I guess, yeah, but I was gonna say, I guess they do
It
make a
is.
comment in the other episode though about there are like sex bots and stuff. So maybe
Oh,
just all of the bots are made the same and then they just like cover up the security units' faces and they're part of the same line. They're all the same. Who knows?
yeah.
I feel, let's see, Amy says, I feel like with him watching a show about a robot human love interest is his deep interest to connection to humans. That's a good point. I mean, he thinks he hates humans, but he clearly doesn't hate humans.
Hmm.
Um,
Well, clearly
otherwise,
in this episode, he doesn't hate
yeah,
humans.
he does everything he can to protect him, even though he has no reason
Yeah.
to do so. And I don't think that's part of his programming. I think that's part of his, I don't want to say humanity because he doesn't have any human parts, but his whatever it is that's making him become somewhat human or a version of human. That's funny. I'm not sure. So that's actually Alex's face, I think, isn't it? Alexander Skarsgård. It's just so bizarre looking. He's like looking at it, and it's I think the angle they took it at, but it's really creepy. So yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I kind of think about the fact of he probably the actor Alexander Skarsgård would have made like a
Uh-huh.
life cast to do this, and it's
Oh, you
you
mean
know
he's not
stars.
sticking his head up into water from a hole in the table?
No, not quite. But I mean, when you make a mask like that and they make a rubber head, it's got to be really creepy seeing it floating in a jar, you
Oh
know.
yeah.
So
Or people who get stabbed or Ella Purnell's character in Yellow Jackets is all frozen. That's gotta be really hard to see her whole
yeah,
body. Yeah.
yeah. I kind
Just
of think it's funny.
weird.
I always wonder, like, do they ever ask to keep their bodies and stuff? Because, like, what are they going to do with them after the show's over? Although, granted,
Ugh.
they probably would be worth a lot of money and they probably cost a lot of money to make. But I could just see
Mhm.
him being like, "Can I have the head?" Like, why not, right?
Yeah.
Amy says and his team I feel he's with is starting to mimic a soap opera. It definitely is to him. Maybe that's why he's interested in it because he wants to see their story. Um, yeah, I don't know, but I do enjoy his soap operas. I wish there was like more of a variety. I know this show isn't super long, so we don't get lots of examples. We've only seen two, but I'd love to see more of those soap operas in there. So then we switch to him in the present, and he is getting pulled away by this other robot unit. I don't know if it's actually a sec unit. It's different. It's black. We had talked
Yeah.
about we weren't sure if it last week. We weren't sure if it was even a robot, but
Yeah.
we do know later from Mensa stabbing it with a drill that it
Yeah.
was a robot that bleeds blue. But yeah, he is being pulled away. He can't control his body to move because at the end of the last episode, they had implanted that combat override chip. And right now it's just screwing around with his memory. And he says, what was on the forefront of his mind is what's showing up in his, what do you want to call it? In his mind right now, what he sees
Yeah,
is his
Banks.
and it's of course Sanctuary Moon because that's what he focuses on all the
I like how
time.
this kind of started out with him being drugged, and there was no real fight scene. It was just him being drugged.
Yeah, well, we got the fight that came before. We got at the end of last
Yeah.
episode, and then obviously there's a fight after. But he had kind of this drunk, warped version of Sanctuary Moon going on behind. I'd say behind his visual cortex. I guess is probably the best way to describe it. But he can see it playing out, and there's not a whole lot he can do at
Yeah.
this point, other
Did you
than to
did
let
you take a lot of photos of this part? Because there was one actor I wasn't sure who he was.
I took pictures of him, unless that's the actor you were talking
Oh.
about. It showed Alexander Skarsgård dressed up in the costume.
No, I
Because since
meant they show the one guy who was on New Adventures of Christine, can't remember his name. And they show the one guy from 40
no,
Rock.
I didn't
But then
I didn't
they
see
showed this
all
little
those.
blip after them of another actor and another name, and I didn't catch the guy. It was like a bigger guy, and I was like, who's that
Uh,
guy? I don't think
Yeah,
it
no,
was.
sorry. I didn't. I figured the plot of or the opening credits of Sanctuary Moon wasn't quite as important to the plot of the show. I didn't think to take them. I probably should have, but I got like I think 105 photos. So,
Yeah, yeah.
but yeah, you're
So
right. It should.
I'll probably look that up on my own because I was really curious because it was so quick and I was like, okay, what was that?
Yeah, no, I don't know.
Because I
I didn't
wasn't
even notice.
sure
I didn't think
because all the
to put
characters
them.
I was like I saw these two people, I saw the robot, but I wasn't sure about the other character.
Yeah, there's the female robot, and there's Jack McBrayer that I don't know his name. I
Yeah,
don't know their names on the show. I'm just saying. And the guy that I always remember is from Avengers, not an
yeah.
Avenger, but from the Avenger movies, and that's
So I remember from New
I can't
Adventures of Old
remember his name.
Christine.
Yeah, I know. I said
So
it before. And his name John Cho. I can't remember. I think his name's John Cho.
yeah,
Anyway,
John Cho. Yeah,
that's the captain of the ship. But this is who you're talking about, right? From
yeah,
New
that
Adventures.
guy. Who's that guy? What actor is
That's the
that?
one that's from Avengers that I can't remember his name.
Oh, the one from Avengers. Well, the other guys from the Avengers too, because they're all parts of Marvel. Everybody's been in
Hmm.
Marvel stuff.
Yeah, maybe we're not. Maybe we're talking about two different people. Then I don't know. I can't. I can never remember his name. I know his name, but I always.
Maybe somebody in chat knows his name.
Yeah, I'm looking. You know that I suck really bad with remembering people's names. I'm looking to see if it's probably on the other page. But he's in that. Oh, Clark Gregg is who I was
Hmm.
talking about. That's in this. I don't know if there's another one from Marvel. I don't know. I missed it. I'd have to go back and look at all
What
the
else
characters.
has he been in? Can you see what else he's been in?
Clark Gregg.
He looks
I
familiar.
You're right. He's been in New Adventures of Old Christine. He's been in, like I said, Marvel was
Hmm.
the only thing I knew. How I Met Your Mother. How I Met Your Father. Sorry, not How I Met Your Mother. Uh, Agents of Shield. That's what I was trying to think of when I said his own Marvel show. That's what I was trying to think of.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know
Maybe
because I
that's
don't know what
the
you
one
would
I'm
know
talking
him
about
from.
then.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you would know him from because I don't know what you've seen. But yeah, he was. I do believe he was in New Adventures of Old Christine, trying to not take 20 years going through the cast or the Internet Movie Database. But yeah, I can look it up later. But anyway, he's seeing these clips as the robot tries to he misses the table. Yeah,
Yeah,
Clark
that
Gregg.
was interesting.
Yeah, I didn't even realize at first he had would tried to throw him on the table and he totally missed and he fell on the floor. That was funny. I didn't notice that the first time because he has to try again and then he finally gets him on and he's just kind of hanging there and talking to himself as he does. Although to be fair, he does that a lot of times anyway. Um, but yeah, he's trying to he's going to reprogram him. I guess is the idea. But meanwhile, we get, I hate it's cropping the top of these off, but we get back on the ship. Ratty's looking for Mensa, and they're kind of all freaking out because she's not there. She didn't come back to the ship. And Sec Unit had told her to abandon him there and come back if he didn't come back, and she didn't listen. So now they're freaking out. And they want to bring her back, and then they finally do hear there's Pingley trying to hail her on the radio. They finally do hear from her. Wait, I must have had a couple pictures of the same thing. There she is, Mensa, and she's like, "Stay off the radio. I'm keeping it clear in case he calls back." So she clearly did not listen and is trying to get back to Sec Unit. So I don't know. What do you think about the fact that like I mean, obviously the fact that he is protecting them, like that's kind of the idea of the show, that he gets sort of human even though he's not. That's kind of the whole point. But what do you think about the fact that even they are, adamant about risking their lives to save him and he's not even human? Because later on in the episode, I think it's Ping Li tells her to leave and keeps telling her, he's not human, it's okay to leave him, and thankfully she doesn't. But I don't know, what do you think about that? And Scarlet just went bye-bye. So I'll have to wait till she comes back. I'm like, where'd she go? She disappeared. There we go. Let me bring you back. Okay. Can you hear me now? You disappeared. I'm like, you went by.
Ask the
Okay.
question again.
No, I was saying that we know that Sec Unit is putting, his life on the line to save these people because that's kind of what the show is about. But the fact that Mensa is unwilling to leave him there and is even saying to herself, he's not alive, he's a robot, and obviously they still feel he's a part of the team, even though he really shouldn't be and isn't human. Which is
Mm-hmm.
why I think them having human faces, it clearly makes a difference because they may not have felt the same way without it. But I don't know. What do you think that she's like risking her life to go save him?
I'm not sure. Maybe she was curious to see if anything had survived there. But then also, they don't really make the best decisions. Like the decisions with the giant caterpillar things didn't make the best decision. So on a
That's
trajectory path of making bad decisions, I think this is probably true to her character.
Yeah, that's true. I just like that she was risking for him as well, which like surprised me a little bit. Uh, to, excuse me, to do with that. But she is not willing to leave. He is still hanging out there, and he's thinking about a lot of things like he normally does, and he's questioning, why it didn't just kill him and why it's taking the time to try to, change his programming. Um, and that's kind of what that is about. And there's Vincent having her panic attack, and there's Pingley, and that's where Pingley says, they say, you were supposed to go back to the hopper. That was what you agreed. He's probably dead anyway, and he said to take off, and he's not human, and it's not part of our job. And
Mm-hmm.
she tells them, that she's not leaving, and tells Pingley to go back. She's like, go back to the hopper. That's an order. And then they make a comment about, can she really order her around? Which apparently she can, or she does. I don't know if she's supposed to be able to, but she definitely does. At any rate, she is the head of their group. I guess more so when they're on their own planet, but she's still their de facto leader. So they listen to her, and Pingley runs back, even though they don't want to. So yeah, she is going to go back to try to save him. And this is where he is hanging there, and he's saying that he wants to scream because his pain sensors have been turned off. He can't scream, he can't do anything, but he knows that maybe if he has a couple seconds, he can reboot and try something. Which I love that his idea is just to make noise, but it's a distraction. Mm-hmm. He gets it to restart. And then he does make a point of saying he's hurting because he can't turn off the pain override. But he puts the module in, and he gets a couple moments, and he turns on, I think I have a picture, he turns on his voice box there somewhere. There he is when he sees himself floating above. I thought it was interesting they actually showed him floating above too.
Kind of like an out-of-body experience.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting because that was, I'm assuming supposed to be in his head, but yet they showed it. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe he has a soul too. Who knows?
Ooh, the sublime. It's like the sublime in Robot Heaven.
Yeah, they in Westworld, yeah, but they do show him floating above. There's the little the override ship that they shove in him. It is. Much lunch. Yeah, it's a weird photo, isn't it? I like it. It's like a hologram kind of. I like the way they did it. Mm-hmm. But the robot puts the override chip in him, but he gets his voice long enough to start singing the theme song to Sanctuary Moon. Plug it in, and just has that moment to be able to do it. And he says something about like his voice is great, but it's really just he distracts him, but it works. Mm-hmm. Okay, wait. Amy says, I wonder if he might have been created after a real person. They used his real tissue and stuff to create him. I don't know. I mean, they did use human tissue, but is it like a specific person or just like genetics that they somehow mix in a soup?
Yeah. Well, some people say they, when they receive an organ from another person, that sometimes they get characteristics of that person.
Yeah, there's been a lot of horror movies.
Like they start to crave certain foods that person craved, or something that person liked that isn't in their personality before they got like the kidney or the heart or anything like that.
Yeah, it makes me wonder, since they are using this human DNA, that maybe there was some guy who died that was in love with these sci-fi soap operas. They took them and used bits of them. But either way, it's a distraction. I mean, is the idea, and it gives him a minute for him to fight this thing, even though he knows that in about 10 minutes, he's going to be under its control. But he is able to fight it off, and then he kind of falls down. And I got a couple pictures of the fight scene there. The thing does get it in the back of his neck, so we know that he's got a problem. He falls down there, and he's getting his programming's being overridden as we speak. It's being downloaded, and this guy is going to screw him, or is going to kill him, we assume, after I don't know, because maybe he wouldn't have killed him, because I guess he was going to make him kill the other people. Your point, but he would have.
That was like a Freudian slip.
No, yeah, I forgot that he was trying to make him kill the other people, but he does is about to do whatever he's going to do before Mensa comes in. But second, it makes a point of saying that this thing that's been put into his system, that it won't just control him, it will hack his system and coverage track, so it won't know. So he won't know it's even been done. So he's kind of like, in a couple seconds, I'm not going to be here because I'm not going to know what's going to happen, and I can't stop it because I won't even know to stop it, which makes it worse. But as this happens, Mensa comes to save the day. I love that she brings this, it's some kind of drill. I think she says what kind of drill it is. But let's see. Oh, he started, I know, I apologize. I skipped a part. He does start, well, no, we said he sang. I just didn't say he was singing the Sanctuary Moon theme song, which is what distracted it. But yeah, she comes in and she stabs it with this drill, this mining drill, because she tells him she thought she needed a big weapon. So she brought that huge ass drill with her. I don't know how she carried it in there like that, but she did. And then she pukes. Yeah, she needs to get a little bit better, I think, about fighting things, I guess. But she at least she saved him. She improvised this weapon. I'm not sure at this point if it's super helpful, because like I said, I'm not sure that he was going to kill him anyway, but get some away from him, I guess, is the idea. But he's trying to stay like focused enough to tell her what's going on, and he slowly starts to forget what they actually did and what he wanted to tell her. And she's busy trying to pull him out of the building and get him out of there before the guy wakes back up. I really like that he keeps telling her, like, she touches him, he's like, don't touch me. This is violation against security protocol. I'm going to report you. And he keeps repeating it over and over. He's in, I forget how he describes it, but he's kind of stuck there. His chip is stuck in buffer, I think he says, and it's repeating. Mm-hmm. So he's, at least she came. Is she going to be very much help? We don't know at this point. But he's getting up. At least he's able to stand, and she starts to bring him out while they leave that guy there. And then Ping Li comes back to the ship and tells them that, that's where she says she ordered her to come back, and but she shouldn't be able to do that because she's not their leader. Sorry, Ratty says that she's not the leader, and Arata says that she's the leader on their planet, and they talk about her being intimidating. But the point of it is that, I don't know if is it Rathy or Ratty? I'm saying Ratty, but it's spelled Rathy. I think it's Ratty though.
Oh, okay. I was pronouncing the H. I
wasn't sure.
But maybe it's silent.
Yeah, I don't know. Ratty. At any rate, yeah. He decides that he's going to be brave, and he's going to go out and try to save Mensa, even though he does not know how to use a weapon. He doesn't have any clue how to use this big ass gun that he picks up, which I don't know if I just skip taking a picture or if it'll go back to that. No, it'll go back to that in a second. He does grab a gun, but then meanwhile, let's see. Mensa is trying to lead him out of this place. And he tries to grab the thing in the back of his head. I was kind of hoping that at some point she'd notice, like, what are you trying to do? And see, oh, wait, that wasn't there before. But it doesn't matter because she doesn't. I think she asks him what he's trying to do, but she doesn't actually look.
Or maybe that wouldn't have been good for her if she would have taken that off.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he would have attacked her if she tried to. I'm honestly not
Yeah.
sure. But he seems to be in a state right now that he knows somewhat of what's going on, just doesn't remember everything. But he does make a comment that she is protecting him, which surprises him. And this is where he says she might be an intrepid galactic explorer. And he keeps repeating the stuff to her that even though he's seeing something else in his head, and she has no clue what he's talking about because he sounds really drunk. I like this phrase, like, you're an explorer. And then he sees, this is where I took the picture there of him.
Yeah.
Even though it's cut off, you can't see his cool hairdo. But he
Well,
is
I found the name of the actor I was talking about. Not the guy from the Avengers. Ron Cannell, who has no hyperlink in Wikipedia, whose character, the actor playing the character is Con Renal, which I thought was funny. They just changed his name around. And he's supposed to be the colony solicitor Vegas. So I answered my own question.
You're saying his character name is the actor's name reversed.
No, that was the one it was the one guy in the credits who was really fast that I didn't get. So I looked it up on Wikipedia.
Oh, okay.
But he's the only one that doesn't have a link on Wikipedia to see what he's done.
Well, Ron Kennel, I can look and see if it says something about Avengers.
It's Kennell.
Yeah, I see it on the list.
Okay.
I just didn't know what to click on. He was in C, he was in The Way Home, Warner, Transplant, Star Trek, Strange New Worlds. Without looking through all of them, he's got a pretty long list.
Maybe like character credits for those, like an episode or two.
Yeah, I don't know. You're right. They might be small character credits. I recognize them, but I don't know from what. So yeah, he might be like a character actor.
Yeah.
But I don't notice anything, at least looking quick. I don't notice anything Marvel. The only big thing I see is Star Trek Strange New Worlds.
Well, sometimes I feel there's more actors now that haven't been in Marvel productions than the ones that have.
there are quite a lot. It's a big group there. Why is this not live? I hate when I try to get YouTube to work and it won't stay live. So anyway, I enjoy that he's seeing the other picture here. He's trying to sync up YouTube. It's not working. He sees himself in the show now.
Yeah.
As he's talking to her. So I thought that was kind of cool that they dressed him up like that.
Yeah, I thought this whole sequence was cool. I like the credit sequence when I got kind of all glitchy.
Oh, you mean the credits of this show? Yeah. It was like, that's why I said it was almost kind of like he was drunk, I think.
Yeah.
A little bit. Maybe you're just experiencing deja vu like that, dude. Maybe Munchlinger. But he is, but yeah, he sees himself in it. So
I love his hair.
I love the hairdo. That's funky.
The hair is great.
I would have liked to have seen more about what character he put himself in the show.
Yeah.
I don't think we actually hear the scene, do we? He just says that he is really losing his marbles, and she's trying to talk. And he does talk to Jack. I wrote down he talked to Jack McBray's character, but that doesn't really do anything. But he keeps talking to her like she's part of it and she has any clue what he's saying, but she's just like, stay with me. And they do hear a noise. Oh, they put her in there. I didn't know
they put her in there. I didn't see that.
That's cool. I didn't either. I assumed that was the sex bot from the show. I really didn't look.
That's really cool.
That's very cool that they put her in.
Cool outfit and good hair too.
Yeah, they gave her. You're right. They did give her cool hair too. I got it. Which reminds me, I need to in the next couple days get the rest of these interviews posted. I haven't gotten all that far, and I need to. So this is where they are still up. Amy hated the hair. I thought it was funny. It's not good hair. It's silly hair. It's not necessarily a good look. It's just a funny look. It needed to be blonde. Yeah, maybe it would have been better if it was blonde. It would have looked a little more.
I feel like it's kind of Star Trek, like kind of 60s going on.
It is one. Yeah, that one's one of the good ones. Yeah, it's like curly. It's funny. It is funny. I like it. I don't know. He looks like Jimmy Neutron. Yeah, it's just a little strange there, but he's inserted himself into his own fantasy, right? He's allowed to have whatever.
You do.
But Whoops, sorry, you went out a second. What?
Oh,
Scarlet?
I just said as you do.
Okay. I thought
Hello?
you said something else. I couldn't hear it. No, I can hear you now. You went out for a second.
No, as long as my audio is remaining after the live, I'll be totally happy.
No, yeah, you're fine. It just for a second it like stuttered and I couldn't tell what you said. But it's
Okay.
good now. So they are still worried about Mensa, and I like this though, where Ping Li's like, well, if he dies out there, then we won't. Our contract will be null and void. And
Yeah.
then they. I don't think I have them smiling. They give like this creepy smile, like, yeah, he's gonna be. And they're like, well, I don't really want him to die. Don't want anything to happen, but clearly, Ping Li is over the contract, right? They're like, yeah, I don't want to do this anymore, because they had, I guess, agreed to the throuple specifically for Arata, who was the one that really wanted it, and yeah, so they're over the idea, but they're also just, I think, buying time while they're freaking out, worrying about them coming back. But Ratty, whatever you want to call him, meanwhile, has grabbed this gun. The rat, yeah, has grabbed this gun, and he's asking them how to use it. And I'm thinking, wouldn't it have been smart to ask how to use the gun before you left? Like before you walked out with the gun, you know?
That's what I'm saying, Jamie. Bad decisions. They make a lot of bad decisions.
Yeah, they do make bad decisions. Thanks, Doc. We appreciate it. Watch the show though. It's a good show. It's a fun show. Oh, and I was going to say earlier, Kimberly said that, and she's right, that those, whoops, I'm pointing to the wrong thing. Those alien plants, they kind of look like Willy Wonka. I hadn't even thought about it until she said that earlier. They do. So that's kind of cool. But he's like, what's this? It's the safety. So yeah, he has
no.
He was not the one to really be the brave guy and rush out, but he did. And there's more of them, but he's going out.
There's all those fruit.
He's gonna protect him. I got a question though, like, did he totally? Yeah, there's Kimberly said, yeah, they do. They totally look like candy, like lollipops or something. But what was I gonna say? Oh, I have to wonder though, like, is he really doing it for Mensa, or is he? Do you think he's just doing it to like impress them? Because it seems like he just wants them to think he's like this macho guy. Do you feel like that?
Yeah, I kind of get that vibe.
Yeah, I'm not sure that this is the best way to prove it, but yeah, because I feel like he was gonna get himself killed, and he does get himself zapped, but not killed. But he's rushing out, and then meanwhile, let's see, Mensa's still trying to get him out. And she yells to somebody. She's like, help, help. And Ratty does, they can't get a hold of Ratty. They can't get him on the radio now. Let's see. Yeah, but Sec Unit tells Mensa to abandon the ship and he'll fight the raiders. And of course she's like, what are you talking about? They have, no clue, she has no clue what he's talking about. It's all in his head, but he's like, you go, I'll stay here and take care of the people that you don't even know what I'm talking about. So yeah, and yeah, we could definitely do a watch party and watch the first ones if you guys wanted to do another one.
I mean, they're pretty short. They're like 20, like a lot of them are like 22 minutes long.
Yeah, this one it seemed really, really short tonight, I think.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right.
But yeah. Sorry, I thought you said something else. But yeah, she's trying to call for help. They can't get a hold of him to help. And Arata says she has an idea. And then meanwhile, Mensa locks them in this room. So at least they're safe for a little bit before he gets in there. Rathy thinks he can get in, and he can't even get the door open. Like, this guy has no clue what the hell he's doing, I think it's funny though. He's trying very hard. It's just not working out. And they finally get out. They come out. I think they like break out a hole through the other side of the building, don't they? So he doesn't even have to help them, but he rushes over. And while he's doing this, that big other Sec Unit comes and aims at him, and he thinks he's gonna shoot him, and everything's gonna be okay. clearly he gets shot. So there it is where he falls.
Yes.
And it didn't. That's another one that's bad. It cut off the top. And it didn't kill him, but it did knock him out for a couple seconds at least. But he's like, what are we going to do? He does see that his programming is starting to say that they're hostiles, that they're targets. So he knows that pretty soon he is going to be trying to kill them. And that's, I don't know. I swear I took a picture of the thing coming down. I don't know why I don't have a picture of the big robot leg, but
you don't have the big crescendo of the piece.
No, I don't. Because they must not, because it shows them talking. Let me see. No, it isn't. I'm sorry. I'm just out of. It's just not there yet. I took too many of those. This is him talking there. He's trying to tell them that. I think at this point, I'm trying to see. Is he trying to tell them that he's talking to himself? I think still at this point, saying that it's gonna take control of him, but he wants to stop it, and it comes out. I think I just had too many pictures in here is the issue, but he's trying to stop it from happening, and then yeah, see, that's after he shoots himself. That has to be out of order. That's why I said it's totally out of order. They're
and then here comes this.
Yeah, so forget the fact it's out of order. Apologies, but
forget the last 5 pictures, everyone.
Her plan was to step on the thing with the ship, and there's Pingley pulled it up into there, and they like.
It was so gross. It was so gross.
Yeah, it was great. They kept smashing it. But while she is doing that on the ship, he is telling them what's going on, and he realizes finally, because he didn't seem to know for sure before exactly why they were trying to override him, but he realizes that it didn't kill him and didn't kill them and was just standing there, and that's why it like stunned Rathy instead of killing him, because it wants although I'm not sure how they would tell the difference, but it wants Sec Unit to be the one to kill them. I guess so they can say I don't know, so they can say he went bad. It doesn't exactly explain, but he knows that it's waiting for him to do it. And he tells them what's happening, and he's like, he stops, he waits to tell them that they got to kill him, because he knows they're not going to listen. And then he says, you got to shoot me. And she's like, we're not going to do that. So he does what he has to do, and he shoots himself in the stomach and tries to kill himself so that he cannot kill them. I'm trying to see. I think all the things are out of order. So yeah, sorry about that. He does pull the thing out of his neck, but it's too late because it's already taken him over. But he shoots himself so he cannot kill them. And I think that this is really, I feel like, a turning point, because it proved that he definitely put them above himself. Because they do even say, we can have Garathan fix it. And he's like, there's no time. I will kill you all in a couple seconds. So, and then he shoots himself.
But he's not living up to the Murderbot name.
Yes. I like how you said
I was expecting Murderbotting. I have not got Murderbotting.
Well, that's what I said. I don't know if I missed it when I watched screeners, or if they added it back and they ADR'd it after. I don't remember him saying about his name being Murderbot at the beginning, because
the one I watched had it. So
yeah, no, I know, but sometimes they have other versions.
Understandable.
But like I said before, it might also just be my really bad memory. I skipped it and I don't remember it. But yeah, he is Murderbot. Something happened maybe in his past he doesn't know, because Garathan at one point did say, you have to recover these memories. So at some point we'll have
those Murderbot memories.
Sorry, I was reading something somebody said that was kind of upset, I guess, but oh well. I'm not sure what to do about that. Yeah, nothing. I'll talk about it later. But yeah, he hasn't lived up to his name yet. So I guess we'll have to figure out what it is in his past that he did and why because I don't know. At the first episode, it just kind of gave it the idea that he named himself this sort of flippantly without reason. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't it didn't explain why he would choose that if he didn't
Yeah.
remember murdering people. So yeah, I'm
I
not
mean,
sure.
they showed that he was like haunted by that like 7 seconds of footage where he was murdering people. That might make sense.
That's true,
But he
but I
was
feel
really that
why would
haunted
you
by it.
choose that name on purpose if you were haunted by it, though?
I
He
don't
was
know.
sort of
I don't
flippant,
know.
about it. But yeah,
I'm just trying to find answers.
yeah. So yeah. What is there anything? Do you have anything else? Like I said, this was a really short episode, but I do feel like it had a lot of important things going on.
Hmm.
It just was really short.
Yeah.
Um, and this
It's
is
kind
what.
of like running like those like Flash Gordon's serials, like the
Oh,
really
come on.
old ones that were only like 15 minutes long. And then on our
Yeah,
next adventure, they kind of have a little cliffhanger, and then you watch the next one.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It does usually end on a cliffhanger. It's just weird anymore for a show to be like 30 minutes. It's they don't
Yeah.
do it very
Well, it's not
often.
even 30 minutes; it's 22 minutes,
Yeah, well, yes, but there's always commercials and
and
things.
that's with credits and everything. So it's
Yeah,
maybe
so
20
it's even
minutes long.
so yeah, it's short. So yeah, if you haven't seen this and you want to catch up, it is really easy to catch up because it is so short. Um,
Yeah, because
next
right
week.
now it'd be like maybe less than a couple hours of your time if you wanted to watch party and show all the episodes.
Yeah, yeah, and we can definitely do that if people want to see it. But yeah, we're going into episode 5, so it's not even halfway over yet. Because I believe there's 10 episodes. I think isn't that what I said before?
10?
I think there's 10.
Sure.
Sure. You don't know. No.
They're usually like 8 or 10, I guess 8 or 10.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Where's the episode link? I'm pretty sure there's 10. There's definitely at least 10 according to their movie database, but I'm pretty sure there was
Yeah.
10. That's what I remember there being. But yeah, it's not a long commitment, but especially if you haven't started it yet and you want to start it and see it and catch up before we have our show next week, you can do that. And like I said, we can totally do a watch party if you guys want to see the rest. For those of you who didn't start it yet, just let us know in Discord. But yeah, short episode, important episode. Like I said, I think this is sort of the turning point because he's definitely made I mean, before he was like helping them and hanging out with them, but now he's definitely made a choice to put their safety above his own. Which
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I was surprised. I don't think anybody who watched this was probably surprised by it because that's kind of the point of the show. But
Hmm.
I like it. I like that it's heading in that direction. So yeah. You have
So
anything
he's
else?
just doing the job of the security robot that he was meant to be.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, except
Ironically so.
yeah, and it's funny. I kind of wonder if maybe he had time after that combat override to actually like not listen to it because he had broken his government module from before or whatever it was called, his government. I forget what it was called, but the thing that controlled him before, his
Yeah.
government ship. Because like he knew it was happening and it was slow happening and he had the time that he needed to take care of it, which clearly the other security units didn't because they killed the people and killed each other and everything else, but he was able to resist it. So that might excuse me, have something to do with his free will. I don't know, but I like that he's definitely exerting his free will now. And if they treated him like a human before and were making him one of the team and we're not willing to let him die before he
Yeah.
did this, I think after this, I think it's set in stone that he's one of them, at least on their side. I don't know that he's going to be happy with it, but he's never, he should definitely be, they would think he was on their side.
So
Well,
what do
don't
you
say
think?
that there we go with this less than a 7 episode. Yeah, some seasons are too short. But yeah, they're getting to be too short. I agree. But no, there's 10. They're just half an hour episodes. But I mean, it is a comedy. It's not a super dark show, and they're adapting the book. So they they only have so much material, although I would think they could have added a lot more. I believe, is there more than one book? You know more than I do about the book because you started
Yes.
listening. Okay.
It's a whole series.
Okay, because I was gonna say, I feel like the plan was they would go longer if it does good, but I don't know. I'll have to.
I think this first season is based on the book All Systems Red.
Yeah, it is based on that book.
Yeah, just
But
want to this
I
one.
have not gotten to have time to listen to any of it or look at it yet.
I
But
have had zero time from Thursday till now, but I
it's
will.
okay. I know you're intending to though, so at least you can
Yeah,
tell
I
us
got it for
a
the
little bit about
library, so
what's going
I'm
on.
gonna be listening to it. And
Yeah, I told you I forgot all about it. I need to see if I can find it an ebook on it at our library, and
so,
then
what
that
do
would
you
help.
think is gonna happen to Murderbot now? Are they gonna try to heal him? Is he still gonna want to kill them?
Well, I mean, I'm assuming Grathan's going to do something to fix it. That to me is the only thing that makes sense. Because I don't think they're going to kill him, or it wouldn't be called Murderbot. It'd be called Dead Murderbot.
Just like Murderbot without Murderbot.
Yeah, I
It's just
don't
the
think he's
space
going to
hippies, and
die.
they're like, "Yeah, you remember Murderbot? Yeah, he was cool.
Yeah, we've moved on. We've moved on.
Yeah, we
Um,
got our sec unit. It's fine."
yeah.
They sent us another one because we had to have one by our contract.
Yeah, you never know. It could be that they just keep. Maybe there are more than one robots though that look. Maybe they do have look different, but maybe they don't have to look different. Like maybe
Uh,
they'll just get another one that looks like Alexander Skarsgård,
oh, it'd
right?
just be like a Dolores thing where they all look like
Yeah,
Dolores.
we'll just get a new one. No, in all
Bunch of
seriousness, I do not.
clones.
Yeah, I don't think that we're gonna lose him anytime soon, and I don't think he's going to attack the group. I mean, that would defeat the purpose. So yeah, my guess is that Garathan will do something. He's clearly capable of doing a lot when it comes to tech, and he's already got some kind of machine parts in him that he can use it to his advantage, I guess. Although I don't know that he'll want to do it. I mean, he has not liked Sec Unit from the very beginning, so yeah, he might not be super down with it. I don't know, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I think everybody else on the team, I think now it's solid that he's one of them. He just has to get on board with that because he still doesn't want to spend time with them. He may want to protect them, but I don't think he wants to hang out. I don't. I don't think he's going to want to hang out anytime soon. So, yeah, we'll have to see how that goes. But
Yeah,
yeah, I
I
don't know.
wonder. I wonder if we'll get any other scenes like the scene in the beginning of this, where maybe they put his face on something, and that's the first, step. Like maybe some of the backstory,
Yeah, and see how he's
how he
made.
kind of gained his own kind of robotic
Yeah.
consciousness.
Yeah, that would be cool. I mean, maybe that has something to do with the flashbacks he's seeing too. I mean, I assume that they're going to
Yeah,
go into showing us part of that memory at some point, and we'll get a little bit more backstory in that sense. But yeah, it would be kind of cool to see like a Westworld-esque scene about how he was built and not just see like
yeah,
that face because we didn't really get that much of it. So that would be cool. I
yeah.
agree.
Or why, if there's a real answer to why they have individual faces, or
Yeah.
maybe at least different. It's not like
Yeah.
Cylons where they have like six of them, but
Yeah. That's why I said the only thing that I can think is that they make all the robots at the same place, and then they say this one's a security unit, this one's a sex bot, and then they're
and they
face
all have
together.
his face.
No, I mean that they
Would you
all
like the
look
sex
human.
bot
Some of
version?
them will.
Yes, please.
No, I just mean that maybe some of them will keep their human features because they're used for other things other than security, and they just like the ones that are security they shove in a
Yeah.
suit. That
Hmm.
to me makes
That
sense,
makes yeah, that makes sense.
but will we ever get that much of it? I don't know. I really don't know, but hopefully we'll find out
There's
sometime.
like, what is there, like 6 more episodes?
Yeah, there's 6 more,
Yeah.
so we're not quite halfway through. Next week is halfway
Oh.
through. The what version? What were we saying? The what version? I don't remember what we said, Muncher. We said something. They're asking. Do you remember
The
what?
sex version, much much.
Okay. That's another sarcasm. But yes, the sex plot
The
version.
sexy sex one.
Yeah, they have mentioned that before. Which clearly he is not.
I don't
Since
think
he's
that one looks like a Ken doll, Luncher
yeah, I
Muncher.
don't think the sex bot version looks like a Kendall. I would agree with that.
Or Muncher Luncher. I'm sorry, I always get your name confused.
Yeah, Muncher. All right. Good night, Amy. Thank you. Hopefully that wasn't in response to the comments about the sex bot. No, I'm kidding. Like, I'm going to bed. I don't want to hear about sex bots. No. But yeah, I think it would be funny though. I would like to see. I mean, not anything to come of it, but I think it would be kind of funny if there was like a character that like came on to him or tried to sleep with him or something, and because I would just love to see his reaction. Like, what the fuck are you doing? I could just imagine.
I'm very attracted to Murderbot.
Yeah, he would not be down with that. He he just wants to sit and watch his his soaps.
He seems very asexual in nature.
Yeah, he does. But I'm guessing that's probably partially just because he's an android. I mean, who knows in the future if seasons down the road, maybe he will not be. I don't know.
Yeah.
But since he doesn't have a penis, I don't know that there's a need for him. So, but who knows?
He could do other things, I guess.
Maybe they have attachments. We don't know. We don't know. We don't need to know.
Well, I was just talking about his tongue, but there's other attachments. Okay.
Oh, that too. Yeah. No, I was
You're gonna go there. Sure.
No, but I'm just saying there'd be no point because he doesn't have anything. But maybe that could change. I don't know. I kind of think he might be develop. That's interesting. Kimberly says she kind of thinks he might be developing feelings for the main female character.
Oh.
I think that he is developing feelings in the sense of like a protectiveness, if you mean Mensa.
Yeah.
I don't think he had. I mean, I personally don't see any sexy time feelings or anything. AJ would say that's what AJ says.
Wow.
I don't see any shipping or anything like that between characters, but I do think he feels protective of Elsa. Yeah, and now I'm going to be thinking about what I said. Still, I go like, yes, I said it. I said about an attachment. I don't know. I'm just saying, you never know. But yeah, that is not his job. He's for security. He has no need for that kind of use. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure I have anything else. I think I've gone through everything I can think about. This episode was called the Escape Velocity Protocol, which is kind of interesting. I thought at first I was gonna have to go back and listen, but when he was saying about having to tell somebody that Mensa touched him and it was protocol, that isn't what he said. But it makes me wonder, like, I don't know. Do you think there's a meaning behind that, or is it just the name of a protocol he stuck in to be funny? I was kind of curious what the title meant.
I don't know. I'm not really sure what the title means.
Escape Velocity Protocol. I don't know, unless it has to do with them trying to get away after. They didn't show what happened to the other sec unit other than they smushed it, huh? It seemed like they smushed it. That's all we saw.
Does its legs, does its feet?
Yeah, I think it still showed it squashed under the hopper. So I guess we'll find out. But yeah,
it looks like it's pulverized.
Probably. But obviously, that sec unit or whoever's controlling that sec unit or whatever. Yeah. I mean, because I have to assume there's a human controlling that robot.
Somebody who gave that robot protocol.
Yeah, and they're trying to. So I have to question, like, what is the reason they're trying to control the other units and make them kill humans? I mean, there has to be something behind that plot. It's not just like that robot decided I'm going to.
Or those particular humans.
Murders. Or those
on that particular planet. There's something on the planet.
Yeah, it might be. I mean, clearly they were after the Deltfall group. I think that our group was just wrong place, wrong time. I don't think they had any intention of going after them if they hadn't shown up. But whatever it is, they're not willing to let it go. So yeah, I'm curious to see who's behind that robot that they've hopefully pulverized. But
hopefully its legs just don't move independently and get up and start running around.
Yeah, we hope not. Otherwise, we might see Mensa thrown up again, which I could do without, in all honesty. Yeah. So anything else? I think I've added about everything I can think of to say.
I'm sorry, Muncher Luncher, if I get your name wrong. I don't mean it. I'm sorry.
I'm probably always screwing people's names up.
Well, I don't look at the chat while I'm doing this, so I kind of flip back and forth. So
yeah, you don't have you're not logged in the thing. I'm glad at least it's mostly updating. Like I see, oh there, okay, Trace. I was gonna say just wave now, and I see it popped up. It's a little bit behind. But hello, Trace. Thanks for coming. Thank you, everybody, for coming.
Yeah.
But I think unless you have anything else to add about Murderbot, I'm about, I think for this episode, about out of
Murderbot it out.
Murderbot it out. Yeah, I think I went up through everything. But like I said, if people want to rewatch them, let me know in Discord. We can always have another watch party and catch all up before next week.
Yeah.
But please make sure that when's your next live stream?
Probably tomorrow.
Okay, well,
I know I
check
sound super confident, but Julie's
Yeah, I know.
supposed to have
Well,
a duster live
okay,
tonight,
well,
but she didn't feel good, so I guess we're having it tomorrow, but I'm not 100% certain. But we probably will.
okay. Well, look for Scarlett's
10-ish,
other
10-ish,
live stream that
11-ish.
may or may not be tomorrow.
Yeah,
Um,
who knows?
and then,
Throw the dice.
yep. And then, of course, for my show for Sci-Fi Vision, that's okay, Trace. We appreciate you being there. For my side of it, Karen and AJ and I have our Fandom Access Roundup show tomorrow at 10 Eastern with, like I said, Doctor Who and Surreal Estate. We'll also talk about this show a little bit more, as well as Dead City. We usually go over them a bit, even though they're not our main breakdown shows. And then Thursday at 11, join Scarlett and me again to talk about the Librarians, the next chapter for our show. This will be the first show we'll be doing together since she wasn't here next week. So make sure you join us Thursday at 11. And of course, the watch party for that, I think I marked down 9:30 to make it a little bit easier so we're not rushing last second. But that can't always be changed if we need to. But you can get the schedule for everything in Discord. So make sure y'all check that out. And then on Sundays at 11 is my show with Lori for Dead City. So yeah, wraps back around. Lots going on at the channel. But yeah, the next thing is tomorrow. After I get some sleep, maybe, maybe not. I tend to not get sleep. I go to sleep and then I never get it. Yeah, you just got home, so you need to go.
Yeah.
You need to go take a break too. But yeah, make sure that you like and subscribe to Sci-Fi Vision. Make sure you check out other videos. Like I said, I have. I'm saying Tuesdays tomorrow. Technically Tuesdays today because it's past midnight here. But no, Munch for Lunch or Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern is our roundup show, Fandom Access. But I also have more Murderbot interviews coming, which will be in our video tab. And I have more Better Sister coming, and we have Revival. And yeah, I'm just kind of some of that.
Which interviews do you have going on
for Murderbot? Pretty much the whole cast. The only people, for whatever reason, I didn't talk to this time was the ones that played Ratty and her name Barkswatch. I don't know how to pronounce the character's name. That's for whatever reason I didn't get to talk to them, which I've talked to the actress before, so I was kind of disappointed. But the rest of the cast I do have, as well as the producers to go up, and of course Alexander's interview is already up there. And yeah, Kimberly's asking about Duster, but you guys aren't doing Duster tomorrow, right? Or is that the one you're rescheduling? I thought you were rescheduling from.
We're rescheduling it for tomorrow, apparently.
Okay. Well, so yeah, look for Julie's
competition
when they're rescheduling that. I don't know. I have.
But like both of them, like this one, like Jamie's thing on Tuesday, and then also like Duster. Okay.
You guys can watch both. You can come and go.
You can watch both.
But yeah, Munch for Lunch, to answer you, it's Fandom Access. Ours is 10 o'clock of Fandom Access, and it's for Doctor Who, the Doctor Who season finale that I'm waiting to talk about. And hopefully Karen and AJ will give me enough time to talk about it, and won't want to wrap too soon, because I could go on about it for quite a while.
Oh yeah, so did you like it?
I liked it. It was crazy. I have a lot of things to say about it. I was very. I'm not sure where he's going, but I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. But I have a feeling I probably have a lot more to say than they do. So I might end up having to do my own live stream. I don't know. But we have that. And also Surreal Estate. Fandom Access is our show on this channel, Sci-Fi Vision, Muncher Luncher, tomorrow at 10 p.m. Yes, it's a live stream. Yes. It's just, I try to give all of our shows a separate, I don't know, subtitle. So they're easier to tell the difference. So it's Sci-Fi Vision Fandom Access. It's still part of Sci-Fi Vision.
Like they're your babies, and you need to name them.
My baby. Well, it was always called Fandom Access, and we kind of connected it to the site. It's a long, boring story, but yeah, it's one of our shows. That's actually the show with Karen and AJ, like I said before, that we started clear back when Lost was on. We had many integrations and many different live streams. Back then it was all audio because there wasn't video, but yeah, now it's our weekly show that we do, kind of reviewing all the different stuff from the week. But yeah, I could talk about Doctor Who for at least an hour, and I'm sure they won't want to. So we'll have to see. You guys want to hear
the check can be interesting sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, I like Doctor Who, but I also have some complaints too because it was so crazy. So I've been waiting to
Oh,
talk about it. I don't want to spoil it now for people who haven't seen it, because if you haven't seen it, you don't want to be spoiled. Go watch it first.
yeah,
But
yeah.
it's a crazy season finale that will have everybody talking for a while. And like a lot of the other shows, it's probably not going to be back for a while. So unfortunately, we will have to wait. Um,
How
but
long is it between seasons of Doctor Who? Is there an
Um,
average?
it'll probably be a couple years. It's
Oh,
usually a long time to begin with, but usually there's a Christmas special, but supposedly there's not going to be this time.
oh,
There's rumors it's not coming back, which I do not believe is true. That's rumors. I do not think that Disney is suddenly going to ditch it after they put all that money into it. And even if
huh.
Disney does, BBC is going to keep going. I would be extremely surprised if they suddenly said they were done. I think it's just going to be a while. Um, and then they will have more explanation about what happened, because they also don't see how they could end it the way they did and not he could not have a plan.
Yeah,
Because it's like you don't end a show on that kind of crazy cliffhanger and be like, well, I guess sometimes they do, but that's what pisses people off. You don't want it to end there. You want to see why and that he did it.
hmm,
So, but that will be, yeah, that's going to be a while, just like all these other good shows that are gone and take way too long to come back. But Revival is coming too. I think I want to say the 12th. I think
what's revival?
Revival is based on a comic series called Revival, which is about on a certain day, if they died like
Okay.
within, I forget how long the time period is, but if they had died within so long of that day, they all come back to life, and they can't be any
Oh,
injury they get after death does not stick, and they can't be
hmm.
killed. So they come back to life, and it's different than a lot of it. Like there's been a lot of shows that have that premise, but it's a lot different. It's based on the comic book, starring Melanie Scrofano. It's really good. I've enjoyed that so far. That is, I believe, the 6th. That's a new show. And then Resident Alien comes back, I believe, or no,
Yay.
I'm sorry. Revival's the 12th. Resident Alien, I think, is the 6th that it
Mm.
starts. And I will
June
also
6th?
have, yeah, June 6th. I
Well,
think
that's
so.
soon.
I wish they had it really easy to look these things up. Like I always have to type it and I never remember. But I
Yeah.
will have interviews coming up for Resident Alien as well. Yeah, June 6th for Resident Alien. I just talked to Alan Tudyk, among others, today. So that
Yay.
will be
That
coming.
sounds fun.
Yeah, yes, it was. And he mentioned Firefly. I'm like, yeah. He said something about Firefly. I'm like, you better bring Firefly. I'm like, I miss Firefly.
Yeah.
To answer you, Muncher Luncher Revival, yes, it's sci-fi. It's kind of horror. It did get a lot darker than I expected. So yeah, I'd probably say it's horror, but it's based on a comic. And Resident Alien's a comedy. It's a sci-fi comedy. I mean, it's
It's
pure comedy.
based on a comic book, but rather loosely. Or
Yeah,
a
yeah.
graphic
And
novel,
it's
but rather
a lot
loosely.
but it's definitely a comedy.
Yeah.
Uh, it's crazy, but it's fun too. And yeah, those are the two things that are coming out on Sci-Fi
I'm glad
Channel.
that's coming back. For a while, I thought maybe it wasn't.
No, yeah, it is. I'm not sure if this is the last season or not. I don't think they've officially said one way or another, but yeah,
Yeah.
that starts the 6th. So yeah, I like that show, and I love Bridget, the little his little kid that's an
I love
alien
her
that looks
too. I
like an alien
love her
that he
too.
kicks around
I
half of the time. I love it.
was
I
just
mean,
gonna
it's
say
awful to
something about
say, but
her.
when he kicks it like a football and it goes flying, like, that's always great.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, that is silly, but it's a good show. And yeah, I don't know. Anything else? What else is there anything else you're looking forward to watching that's coming up?
I didn't know that Guillermo del Toro was doing a Frankenstein.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I do remember seeing something about that. I haven't watched like what Reddit or watched what it was about, but I
So I'm
mean,
going to be looking up information about that.
no, that would be cool. That'd be cool. And I know Sandman's coming soon. We talked about
Oh, they
like
are?
before. I
Okay.
think I mean it's not soon, but it's soon-ish. And same thing with like Wednesday, it's soon-ish. Whereas
Soonish.
something
Yeah.
whereas something
Yeah.
like what's that show on Netflix? Stranger Things. That's a ways away.
Mm.
But the other ones are kind of soonish. I mentioned this the other day. I also started watching Department Q, which is really good. I mean, it's like a serious drama. It's
Yeah.
about missing persons, and it's good. I like that. That's with Matthew Good. But
Yeah.
that's definitely
When is Nautilus started?
On AMC, I'm not sure. Let me see, because it's AMC, right?
I feel like Interview with the Vampire is coming up because they keep showing all the repeats of that show on it.
Yeah, that's a little bit away yet, but it is coming. It has made. Nautilus is June 29th on AMC and AMC Plus. Yeah, I know we talked about that too.
Yeah.
That's coming. But yeah, Interview with a Vampire, I think, is going to be a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, they have showed promos, but they were like, very.
Yeah. Well, I was telling you before, my DVR, it was recording Resident Alien episodes that were extended.
That's cool. Yeah, you never know.
But then when I started seeing all the Interview with the Vampire ones, I was like, is that coming up? Because they are showing those as well.
I don't think it's anytime soon, but it might just be because it's summer. But that Telemasca is coming sometime, though, too.
Ooh,
I'm not sure.
I'm really interested in that one.
Yeah, I think that
some people aren't, but I am.
I am. I mean, look, I like the first season of Mayfair Witches, but I also have not read the books. I know, like, AJ and Karen hate it because AJ read the books.
You're in the minority then, because you're in the minority with me because I actually do like Mayfair Witches, but I'm not invested in the books.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this season wasn't as good. I'll just say that. I like
the season was crazy. That thing where they had the wedding and they had like Lasher and the other woman that's tied up and they're ready to go and they can't wait to say I do so they can cut the ropes.
Yeah, my review, if I said something about Mayfair Witches this season, it would definitely be something like saying it was insane because it didn't make a whole lot of sense.
That's what I love about it, though. I love that it doesn't make an iota of sense.
Yeah, but I like
it's like a fever dream.
It is like a fever dream. So I maybe didn't love it as much this season as I did last year, but yeah, the Telemasca spinoff is coming. I'm not sure if that's the same cast or not, but I keep seeing stuff about that. I'm not.
Yeah, sure I didn't know if it shared any characters.
I think it just was an announcement saying it was coming. I don't remember reading anything about who or anything.
They just have those little teaser commercials. They have little teaser commercials they showed during Mayfield Witches.
And I don't think I have some bad news. It says Interview with the Vampire season 3 starts in 2026, so it's got a while too.
Okay. I thought you were gonna say the Telemasca one was a shelf.
No, the Telemasca one's in fall, and then season 3 of Interview is after that in 2020.
Yeah, but I think they pace them out. I think they're just pacing them out like that.
That makes it last. You can watch one and not.
And all the people that like Interview are going to watch Mayfair Witches anyway. Even if they complain about it, they'll still watch it.
Yeah, well, it's from the same universe, but it's a lot different.
Yeah, but not really.
Well, no. I mean, they did have a little bit of crossover, so not a whole lot, but they had.
With that one character, there was like one minor character.
There was a minor vampire that was supposed to be from the world. I don't even know if he was in the other one in Interview. He just was from that world. Oh, you know what? I apologize. I meant to go back to Muncher Luncher's comment. I started when we got there and forgot to go back to it about landing the aircraft, and then he went WWE.
Oh yeah, here. Let's go back to this.
Yeah, that was crazy. I like that it smashed.
Yeah, that was crazy. It looked really good too. It looked very realistic.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm curious to see what happens after that, because that was a good way to take care of it, right?
Yeah.
And they were quite
unless his feet are still active. That's the problem.
Yeah. And like I said, if his feet are still active, it might make her throw up again.
Yeah.
But yeah. But there's 6, like I said, there's 6 episodes left of this, so not quite halfway through. And then this, I was going to say for Thursday for Librarians, it's for episode 3 for you guys who are going to join us on Thursday. They aired 2 the first week, so if you want to catch up on that, make sure you watch the 3rd episode, although we will have the watch party. And this is one of the good episodes. I mean, not that they're not all good. I like them. This is one of my favorite episodes, the 3rd one.
Okay.
For Librarians. It is a fun one. So yeah, we'll have that for Thursday. But yeah, I guess that's about it. I feel like I'm talking in circles. I'm not sure what else to say. So time for sleep.
I'm hoping my DVD can differentiate between the Librarians and the new Librarians.
I don't know. I will say though, if people want to watch it, make sure you do DVR it. Like maybe go by schedule by the guide if you want to check to see if it records it. Because if you want to watch it on the TV, at least Xfinity anyway. I don't know about other channels, or other networks, but on Xfinity, it was not on demand unless you paid for it.
Really?
Because I recorded. I mean, I had seen it granted on screeners, but I wanted to watch it again on the TV, and I had
That's
missed
weird.
the end of it because it got cut off because of the sports thing that was on last week.
Oh, the Stanley Cup or whatever.
Yeah, whatever. I don't remember. Whatever it
Yeah.
was. So
Uh-huh.
I had to tape it again on repeat because it wasn't on demand. So not that you shouldn't buy it. I mean, buy it, enjoy it. But if you
Yeah, but if
want
you
to
have cable, you want to be able to watch it. If you already have the thing, you think you
right,
can
and that's
have the
why I
thing
was
on
really,
demand.
right. That's why I was really surprised it wasn't on
Yeah.
demand. I figured it was on
Uh-huh.
TNT on demand, but it was not. So yeah, make sure that if you want to see it, that you DVR it or you come to our watch party.
Yeah.
But yeah, the other thing is that show too. Like if you did miss some of them, you don't have to watch every one to know. You can kind of jump in at any point. It's not a super. I mean, there's things that are threaded, but it's not something that's like super
Yeah.
volume heavy that you have to see it all. And I have interviews from that coming up too. That's why I said I am really behind in video editing. I do a lot of these live streams instead of doing my video editing. I have to go back
I watch all the Librarian movies, and I'm on like I think the end of season 3 of the old Librarians.
Oh, that's cool. Then you're
I've been
catching
kind of
up.
motoring through them because I mean they're like you said they're a fun watch.
They are. They are. It's a
And
nice
it
show.
isn't like it's completely like, frivolous because they have a lot of history in them, it's just fun. It's
Yeah.
a fun ride, a
No,
fun,
I
good
agree.
time.
It's a fun, lighthearted show that you
Yeah.
can not invest a lot of time in. If you don't have a lot of time, you can just watch it and
Hmm.
enjoy it. But it's a good escape show. It's a lot
Yeah.
of fun. And I've said before, it kind of reminds me of Warehouse 13 because it's kind of like the, you know,
Hmm.
saving people from the artifacts type of thing. It's kind of got
Yeah.
that vibe. But it's definitely the similar tone of Dean Devlin's other shows too. So if you like Leverage
Yeah.
or especially Leverage, I don't know, it reminds me a lot. I know it's not like about the same, but it reminds me of Leverage.
Yeah, but
Um,
that's what I said the other time when I fell asleep and I was watching Librarians. I woke
you
up and
weren't
it was
sure, yeah.
Leverage Redemption, but they were talking about forging Rembrandt paintings. I was like,
Mhm.
that could be, and then like what's his name was in
With
it
both,
too, and
it's
I'm like,
both, and Kristen Kane is in both, so it's a
yeah,
little
yeah, and I'm like, it could be.
yeah. Which is also a show I recommend too, Leverage Redemption. If you guys haven't seen it, that's such a fun show. I love that show. I I heard they may not come back. I sure hope so. It better. I want to see more. That show's always great. I remember
Yeah,
that was actually one of the first shows. The original Leverage was one of the first shows that I
yeah,
covered, like for my own site, because I had been working for another site, whatever it was, decade and a half ago. I don't know. I have to think about it and figure it out.
yeah.
Um, and that was one of the first things I covered for Sci-Fi Vision on my own, because I remember I talked to Aldous Hodge back then, which now I probably would not get him on a one-on-one, but I had done a couple of different phone calls for that show, but that was like one of the first ones I covered back then, and I loved it then. So it's nice to see that it's still on, even if it's a little different version. It's still just as good.
Kicking.
And this season actually of Redemption was my favorite out of all the Redemption seasons. So I liked it. But yeah, so that's what I've been watching, those kind of things. And yeah, I was trying to think if there's anything else. And the other stuff
I've been watching Lego Masters.
I'm just laughing because when I was thinking of the things I watched, that was one of the things I was thinking. I'm thinking nobody wants to hear about Lego Masters. Apparently, you do. I like
Everyone
Lego.
wants to hear about Lego Masters.
I may or may not have watched ahead on Lego Masters because I really like that show.
Don't tell me
Even
what's
though we
going
didn't
on.
have to watch it,
I'm only up to the waterfall one.
no, I enjoy Lego Masters. I like that kind of like when it's a reality show, if it's like that artistic type of thing, I like it.
Mm.
That's why I like
That's all I kind of really watch
shows.
is either cooking, because cooking's good, and the cooking baking stuff.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I watch cake
Yeah,
decoration shows decorating
Or
shows a lot.
those cool ones on SciFi where they do the costumes or the makeup.
I missed Face Off. Yeah,
Yeah.
Face Off costumes, and yeah, they had that cosplay one they had for a while that was not
Yeah, I
well.
watched a video on that. I thought it was pretty funny because
Yeah,
there
it
was a lot of bad things that went on with that show.
yeah. I know making those are not easy, but yeah,
Yeah.
I love those kind of shows. If there's something creative, I like watching them.
Mhm.
Otherwise, I don't tend to watch much reality. I do some, but
Mhm.
usually it's always like something like that, like they're making something. But yeah, there's not enough of
Yeah.
those.
I guess I consider stuff like American Pickers like reality, which I don't really
No,
see.
it's still reality.
Yeah,
I
to me, I feel like it's more like historical. Like they're just,
yeah, I mean, people consider
immortalizing these
reality too.
like things, like
I
these,
guess you could say it's unscripted. Maybe that's the best way to say rather than
Oh,
reality.
okay. But
Yeah, yeah, because I don't watch tons of unscripted. I watch some unscripted. Usually, if I
yeah,
watch unscripted, it's either something artistic like Lego Masters, or
yeah.
I'm watching it because I'm covering it. Because I'm not like I used to watch American Idol and stuff, but I don't really anymore unless I'm covering it. I just yeah, I'm
Mhm.
not as into that. Maybe used to be, but not so much.
Yeah.
But yeah, Lego Masters is cool
Yeah, everybody
and
should
fun.
watch Lego Masters.
Yeah, now you got me thinking about that. I
I watched that, and then I watched like Jeopardy tournaments. They had like the also
yeah, I like
Masters.
celebrity. I like
Jeopardy
celebrity
Masters.
Jeopardy. I like Celebrity Jeopardy because they're easier, and then you feel smart because you get them all.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like Jeopardy. I do watch Jeopardy sometimes, not all the time, but
Yeah.
sometimes.
So that's kind of stuff that I watch. Or like me and my boyfriend will watch cooking shows and stuff.
No, I like I said, I watch
He
usually.
wants to watch Murderbot. I just gotta get him caught up on Murderbot.
Yeah, you gotta do that. But yeah, I like some of the cooking shows. Usually it's cake stuff. Like I enjoy the cake stuff
Mhm.
more than the regular cooking stuff. I like
Yeah,
watching them.
Duff's gonna have a cake show, so I'll probably
Oh, is he
record.
doing another one? That would
Yeah.
be
Yeah,
that
those
would
cakes are crazy.
they are. I would love to see. I loved it. I've loved all his shows, so I'd love to see
Yeah, yeah.
another one. More so than Buddy. I like Duff better than Buddy.
Yeah,
Not that I
yeah.
don't, not that I dislike Buddy. I just tend to like Duff's show better. It's more about the cakes and less about their family. Like that's
Mhm.
one of the reasons why I tend to not like unscripted shows. And I don't know, maybe it's bad to say, but like when I watch a show, like I don't know, if I don't like Survivor, my parents watch Survivor, but like what I
Yeah,
can't stand is hearing about their real lives. Like I'm like, I want to see the game. I don't want to hear about their backstory.
yeah.
So that's why I think why I like Duff better because it's not about the stuff that has nothing to do with cakes. And I don't know. I might be
I think I'm just more familiar with him because I watch like Spring Baking Championship and
oh
stuff.
yeah, I've watched
So
that too.
he's
And
more kind of in my face.
The Halloween ones are fun, and I watch. I
Yeah.
like when they had the
Uh-huh.
gingerbread competition that they do at Christmas. You know, they
Yeah.
had. I wonder if you've seen. They did at Christmas before. They had like this miniatures show. I don't remember what it was called,
Oh,
but they made
the tiny foods or whatever that was.
yeah, they made well, there was a couple. The one I'm thinking of was actually like they made tiny houses. Not tiny houses like tiny you live in, tiny houses like dollhouse type tiny houses that they made from like scratch and they
Oh, okay.
decorated and different things. But yeah, it was like a miniature kind of like that. But yeah, there was one they cooked with miniature food too. I remember
Yeah, they
seeing
made tiny little burritos and things, like
yeah,
one little tiny bite of something, but they had to
yeah.
put all the like ingredients in there and make it
And they
taste.
had like little pans and stuff. Yeah. So I like that
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of it's weird stuff, but I like that kind of stuff too.
yeah.
Yes, we need a nurture bot. Nurture bot. I don't know. Is that a reality
Maybe
show bot robot?
Murderbot will become Nutrbot.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, that and I watched Pimple Popper, which sounds crazy, but I like that show.
Ugh. This is
I'm
gross.
somebody who likes the gross stuff on that. I do watch that. I
Ugh.
admit. I shouldn't admit it, but I
I've
do
seen the
watch that.
commercials on that. No, I haven't watched it. Ugh.
No, I'm the person I enjoy watching that. It doesn't gross me out.
Mhm.
I don't
You
know,
like
like
surgery videos?
relaxing. No, but I do watch some of the like I've seen when they have like those emergent what are they called? Like the ones where they have like emergency in the ER and it's like crazy sex stories and stuff that send people to the ER. I can't think of what it's called, but it's like if you know what I'm talking about, it's like whatever. So yeah, I've seen them,
Crazy
and I've
sex
sometimes
stories that
watched
change people to the
surgery.
ER.
No, I can't think of what it's called. But you know what I'm talking about? It's like about crazy. It's not all sex stories, but a lot of them are. It's like crazy shit people did that sent them to the
Like
ER.
somebody gets a bell jar stuck up themselves.
Yes, and they like reenact them. I've seen. So you're
Oh
asking about surgery.
no, that seems
I've
horrible.
seen things like that with surgery when, well, not in that area, but anyway, my
The
point of
character actor
saying,
that has to reenact that.
yes, my point of saying that is when they show surgery on something like that, I've seen it. I tend to not watch that though, but
Yeah.
like on Pimple Popper, sometimes they do surgery too. But yeah, I don't know. I watch a variety of odd things, but I do like that, and now it's on another network, so there's even more of them. But yeah, those are my embarrassing guilty pleasures that I usually don't tell people about. So shh, don't tell nobody.
Yes.
No.
Except for the Murderbot fans here.
Yeah, right. Yeah. There's so it just seems like lately there's not like enough of the good scripted stuff on TV. So sometimes you watch what you get. But you never know. I mean, I found television programs sometimes because I wasn't watching TV. Because I remember the first time I watched Stargate, which I was like a huge fan of when it was out. I watched it and ended up watching it simply because I was in my apartment at college, and I don't remember, I had on something on SciFi channel, and I fell asleep on, but it's not falling asleep, like half asleep on the couch, and I was too lazy to get up and change the channel. And Stargate came on, and I kept watching it, and I kept watching it because I like really liked it, and that's how I got addicted to Stargate. That's how it started. So you never know. You watch, sometimes you pick up something on TV you don't expect to like, and you end up really liking. But that was scripted. I'm just thinking of that because they had the movie on. It's either yesterday or today. I can't remember. And was thinking they need to do another Stargate spinoff. That's a good show. But yeah. But so Murderbot's on Thursdays, right? I get confused which day it's on TV because we do this on Monday. I get it mixed up, and I was like, what day did this air? And I was trying to figure out.
I think it's midnight, which means Friday then.
Is it really midnight? That's funny.
Or is it like that 9 p.m. on Thursday thing?
I'm not sure.
I watch it way late, so I don't know.
Yeah, it might be maybe it's the same time Severance was before. I don't know.
Yeah.
Not sure. But anyway, there's at least some shows coming up, even if there's not tons and tons. They're just not all interesting. Heroes. Yeah, Heroes was good. I liked Heroes. It kind of went downhill a little bit. Like it started out a lot better than it was. But it was good. I enjoyed Heroes. There's just not, the thing is, there's not enough sci-fi anymore, and a lot of it's canceled really quick, which is a problem. But I don't know. My big show was always X-Files, but I think anybody who's listened to me any amount of time probably has heard me say that at some point. Because I usually find some way I'm talking about X-Files. That was always my big thing.
That's why I thought that Telemasca show might be more like X-Files.
Maybe, yeah. If it's like more serious, more kind of darker, it might be.
Yeah.
But yeah, X-Files will always be my favorite. And Lost, I love Lost, but X-Files will always be my favorite. I have an X-File tattoo, so it's always gonna be.
What's it of?
It's I have like 2 X's. It's on my ankle. It's like incorporated in a tattoo I have of roses around my ankle. It's got like, actually it's got Stargate on it too. It's got, I can't really show it. It's on my ankle. I have to put it in the air.
It isn't like I want to believe, right?
No, it's got, I have roses wrapped around my ankle, and then there's like 2 X's and an alien head on the one side, and it has the date I went to the X-Files set. And on the other side, it has a Stargate and a symbol and a convention for the Stargate symbol. I got those though decades ago. Those are really old.
Nice.
I need them redone. And I have an Ouroboros on my back, actually, like Scully's. I didn't get that just because of X-Files though. I really like the symbolism of the Ouroboros, but yes, I have that on my back too.
Oh, the what?
An Ouroboros, a snake eating its tail.
Oh, okay.
Like,
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, that's my other tattoo. I want to get another tattoo. I haven't got one for a while. I want to get one. They're addicting, but I'm like, I got to decide what I want for sure. So I don't want to get another one after. And they're so expensive anymore.
Surprised you don't have a Doctor Who tattoo.
Well, I was going to get one, but the
Oh,
place that the place that I went to before doesn't do as good a job now. And when I went to this other place, like they wouldn't do it small enough, and I don't want like a huge one because I wanted like a teeny tiny TARDIS to put in like a galaxy or something, but they were like,
yeah.
we don't do that small. So I need to find somebody who'll do it little, and then I might.
Yeah. There
Mega
you can
Man
find.
2 and 3 soundtrack remixes. I don't know if I've seen Mega Man. I'm trying to think of what Mega Man is. What is that? That's is that like
It's
anime?
Swing Dog.
I'm trying to think of what Mega Man is. It sounds familiar, but I'm blanking.
Well, I was gonna like talk about Muncher Lunchers canceled Raised by Wolves, which
Oh, Race Revolt.
I want to rewatch. I don't know if
Yeah, I
anybody
like
be
that
interested in
show.
doing a rewatch party, but I would like to rewatch Raised by Wolves.
Yeah, that was a pretty good show. That shouldn't have been canceled, and it was. And yeah, Montreal Luncher says I should get a tattoo of the
Yeah,
sci-fi third eye. Maybe, yeah. I do want to get another one. I just remember the other tattoo I got. I mean, like the one I got on my back, it's like maybe this big, right? And at the
yeah,
time, it cost me like $80. You get one that big now, you're going to pay a few hundred
yeah,
bucks. I do not have that kind of money right now to throw away on a tattoo. But
yeah.
you like the stream theme for the show. Now, Doc, do you mean the theme like we're talking about random shit, or do you mean like the background theme
The
of the show?
cyberpunk background.
They're both themes. I think the color theme is also a theme. Yeah, we're going a
Mhm.
little bit off topic, but yeah, I don't know. I've been wanting to get another tattoo. I just need to like choose. Do tattoos hurt? Yes, tattoos hurt. Do they hurt like people
Yeah,
say they do? I don't think they hurt that
it
bad.
depends where you get them. It
Yeah, I
depends
to
if
be
you get it
honest,
where there's a lot of nerves. Like if you get
yeah.
them on your arm, it doesn't hurt as much as like one of my girlfriends got one on her like heel, like her like
Oh, that would
almost
definitely.
by where Achilles tendon is, and that really
Oh,
really hurt. But if you get them on their arm, it doesn't hurt as much,
yeah, I think
like where the
that's if it's
muscle
like
is.
bone, I think is what it is, maybe too. Because I was told when I was getting it on my back, it was
Yeah,
going to really hurt. My back didn't hurt as bad as my ankle. So, and it was, I mean, it wasn't excruciating.
yeah,
I'm actually more one of those people that I kind of feel like a release of endorphins when you get it. Like, I think it's very addicting. Like, yes, it hurts, but I don't think
I
I
think I
feel a
know
lot
too
more.
much about you now, Jamie.
What? Oh, no, I don't mean it in that way. I just mean that it's like,
You make it hurt so good.
no, I don't mean it like that. I just mean that to me it's like addicting and it's a pain, but like I don't know. I think
You
it
like
does
the end
really,
result,
yeah, I like the
so
end
it's
result. And
worth
I
it.
didn't think it was that bad. It was definitely worth it.
Yeah,
But it is very addicting, that's for sure. Because I know as soon as I got one, I'm like, I want another one. But I did not get another one.
yeah,
Means the effects of I was going on in Scarlet's anime. Oh, okay. The effects of the thing, your anime cyberpunk and the yeah, that
yeah.
was part of the overlay pack I fixed for this. I need to fix one yet for librarians. I haven't picked one out to mess with. I started the logo, but I need to
Ooh,
figure out
what are
how
you
to.
thinking about?
I don't know. I was thinking maybe if I made like a door or something because I don't know what I don't have any animation.
Is that Excalibur still around? Like the sword?
Oh wait, there might be one of a sword. I didn't think of that. I'll
Yeah,
have to look.
because
I bought a
Excalibur is a pretty big deal.
Yeah, I bought a subscription to an overlay place, which is where I got this background at. But I sort of like altered it and layered it and did
Yeah,
different things with it. So I need a base to start with. But yeah, there might be one of a sword. I was more thinking like a fantasy. I didn't know which one really fit. But I was gonna make like maybe a static image for over top of it. But I did start the logo that I
yeah.
made this way. I made Midnight Murderbot. I just didn't have time last week to mess with it. But
So the name of it's going to be the Librarians and the Positively Fantastic Podcast or something.
no, I had told you, I figured maybe and the illustrious live stream was what I
Oh
came up
yeah,
with.
that's nice. Yeah,
So I did, yeah, because it's kind of like I don't know, it seems like a word that they'd use on there for whatever reason. And
yeah,
I got
yeah,
it done, but yeah, I'm trying to learn animation. That's why I'm learning the one video program. I'd love to be able to make my own animations.
yeah,
But I don't know how to do the animated part yet. I'm getting there. But as for tattoos, in all honesty, if I had money, I would get a bigger tattoo. I remember when I got the tattoos, like I was like, I want a
mhm,
little one I can hide. And now that I'm older and like I know that I
yeah,
really want it,
mhm,
I'm like, I want one that shows that I
yeah,
don't have to like wear shorts or whatever. I mean, not that you can't wear shorts that show your ankle, but
Yeah.
Like the one on my back doesn't really show.
Well, if you're younger, your parents don't approve of it. It's kind of a
No,
pain.
actually, my mother took me to get my first tattoo.
Oh, really? Wow.
I
That's
believe I was
impressive.
15, I think. It was either 15 or 17. I can't remember
Oh, wow.
which, but I know that I wasn't old enough you could get it by yourself, and somebody had to be
Yeah.
there with, and that was why she took me. She didn't care. She's
Mhm.
got a tattoo too. I drew her tattoo. She's
Oh,
got a
really?
dragon. Yeah, she's
Wow.
got like a dragon tattoo on the inside of her like shin that
Mhm.
I drew. Although all the yellow came out of it. I hate how some of the colors fall out. Like if they don't do
Oh,
it real
yeah, yeah.
great. But yeah, I that's why I'd like to make my own and draw my own. I just don't know what to make. Like I at the time I knew what to draw for her, but I never did for myself. But yeah, something to be
Yeah.
cool. I probably should get a fairy or something from Sci-Fi Vision. I have thought of getting something that says Sci-Fi Vision or getting a
Yeah.
raven or something. I don't know. But I need the
Or
money
even
for
on
the
a
tattoo.
TV.
Yeah, hey, maybe not. Who knows?
Yeah, I do. I kind of like the new logo you made there, the purplish one.
Thanks.
Would make a
Yeah,
good tattoo.
yeah, I've been putting that at the bottom of the videos. I kind of wanted to see how people responded to it because I didn't know if I should use just the TV or the raven on the TV. And I'm not sure exactly how the raven started, other than I liked ravens and I started putting them in the artwork I make for the site. There was really no reason other than I liked ravens. But
I
I
like
figured it
ravens.
kind of connected. Yeah, I do too. I'm just not sure that there's necessarily a reason why I used it, but I think the TV with the eye fits the website title, I think. But would I want a TV with an eye tattoo? I don't know. Would I like a raven tattoo? Maybe.
A TBI.
But yeah, I don't know about the
There's a
TV.
Stooges song called TBI.
Yeah. There's a what? A song.
Yeah. By the Stooges, Iggy Pop and the Stooges, called TBI.
Oh, that's cool. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I was messing around with Sona. Isn't it called Sona? Sona? I always call it the wrong thing. Is it Sona or Sona? I always want to call
What
it the
is it?
wrong one. I don't know because I think I'm calling it the wrong thing. The thing you can make music with. Maybe it's Suna. I don't know. I'm calling it the wrong thing.
You
People
can
know.
make
I'm
music
sure.
with anything.
No, I mean that you can put lyric. Like I was taking lyrics that I wrote and putting them in and having it make a song about sci-fi vision because I was bored, and I thought it'd be kind of cool to put in like an opening of something. But yeah, I'm still working on it. But I wrote the lyrics because if you let it write the lyrics, it doesn't do so great. I tried to make a Murderbot song, but it was like so slow, it just didn't work. But I'm like, I don't. And the reason why I said that is because for every time I go to talk about the show, I keep thinking, keep hearing in my head, Midnight Murderbot, and like I want that as a song, but I can't
Murderbot,
sing
Murderbot, doing the
so
things that Murderbot does.
want to, yeah. But yeah, I tried to make a song for it, and it came out like really slow. Like no matter how many times I put rap or fast, it came
Oh, I
out
thought it
really
would be
weird.
like
It just didn't
Midnight
work.
Murderbot.
Yeah, it was like it sounded more like an emo, like a slow pop emo song. I don't know. It just wasn't doing what I was trying. But I did
Well,
mess around.
you should say in the style of Sanctuary Moon.
I should what?
Make it in the style of the Sanctuary Moon theme song.
Oh, that'd be cool if you could. I don't know how you'd tell it to do that, but yeah, maybe you could do that. Like I said, I can't make music. I'm bad at music. I just was kind of the reason I originally did it is because I want to. You can make instrumental too, and I want to get an
Yeah.
instrumental song from my interviews to put at the beginning with the intro video because I don't
Uh-huh.
want to use something that somebody else's and then get
Yeah.
flagged or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So but I was just messing around. You get like 500 songs or something. So I was just
Oh, wow.
typing in like lyrics and messing around. Slow pop, emo, screamo is fun. It was, but it didn't work for Murderbot though. It just made it sound like this really, I don't know. I didn't love it. I did like some of the Sci-Fi Vision songs I came up with though. But that's also because I wrote the lyrics. I think that if you let it do the AI do lyrics, it's kind of crappy. It writes weird stuff. But it can be fun. I like messing around with that stuff. But yeah, I think I was gonna say, what time is it? We've been talking about nothing for a while, haven't we? Getting better at talking.
I don't know.
About it.
Sometimes it's fine to talk about nothing.
No, I know. I just always feel like I'm like trying to think of what to talk about. I don't know. I know some people like knowing like personal stuff, but my stuff's boring because I mean this like I'm always either doing interviews or editing video or doing live streams. So I don't know what else I've interesting to talk about other than I've been learning how to use a couple software programs.
I got to experience Hamster Wars. yesterday.
And what is that? Explain. Like
It's a
real?
steampunk event where people have little robotic hamsters
Oh,
that they
robot.
dress up, and they
There
have a
was like
little
a
arena,
robot.
and they put them in the arena and cheer on until one of them tips over.
Well, that's funny. No, but you reminded me when you said
And they
that. There
name
was
them the names, and we chant the names.
That's funny. But you reminded me when you said that there used to be a show that was about robot wars that was on SciFi that like when we were talking about reality shows, there was some kind of show about that.
Yeah,
That was
it's similar, but it's a lot cuter because they're little
they don't
hamsters and they
they
make
don't
little
battle each
noises. It's some kind of like a little Japanese toy that makes little hamster noises, and then it
other.
will go up on its legs and its nose moves. So it has kind of realistic hamster movement.
Oh, that's cute. That sounds cute. Yeah,
And
that does.
well, we have tea dueling and parasol dueling as well.
Okay, that sounds interesting too. I told you I want to go to a convention. I just haven't in so
Yeah,
long. But yeah, I don't know.
teapot
Really?
racing, some teapot racing, and they like people make like a time machine, but they're not time machines. We're just racing around the hotel like
Pretending.
tricycles.
Oh, okay.
You know, as
Yes,
you do.
I have never been to one of those types of conventions, so I don't
You should
know.
totally go. I
I
recommend
do like
I
steampunk.
recommend it to everyone.
I don't do cosplay though. I would sometimes like to like, and I know that's not exactly
Steampunk's a
cosplay.
lifestyle, not cosplay.
No, I said it's not exactly the same thing, but I'm saying like I would like to make an outfit or
I
a
mean, you can
costume.
make cosplay. There's people that go as like Girl Genius and like
Yeah.
what's the other one? Like Victoria. There's a character that Victoria with an octopus. She has a land octopus, and I've seen people cosplay as her. It's just generally people in steampunk don't really cosplay a character. To me,
Well,
cosplay is
no,
when
yeah, it's
you
more,
pick a
yeah,
particular character and you play that person.
no, yeah, I get that. I do like steampunk aesthetic,
This
but
is just more like pretty, people dressing up in pretty Victorian stuff and
yeah,
really cool. Like, some people will have wings or something on their back that actually moves. There was a kind of a cool, like, Little Mermaid Ariel that had a tank with fish on her back, and then
oh,
she was
interesting.
with a bell that was kind of like a steampunk bell.
That sounds kind of cool.
There was a
Yeah,
Yeti. There was a guy that looked like
I should cosplay
kind
as
of
your
like
avatar.
a jester that was on the dance floor that kind of looked like they could have been in Eyes Wide Shut.
Okay.
I'm just saying, and dancing right next to a Yeti,
Oh,
full on
that's interesting.
Yeti on the dance
I
floor.
Muncher says I should cosplay as your avatar.
Oh,
I want to get, I will say I want my hair to be a funkier color. You can't even see it. Like I wanted flame colored
mm,
hair. And I got red. You can't really tell on the video, but I have like red, yellow, and orange streaks like highlights going through it, but it doesn't show
yeah.
up on the video. I would really like for it to. But I just thought of it because he was saying about that, or they were saying again. Luncher. I keep calling you a he, and I don't know if you were a he, and if you weren't, I apologize. I keep saying that. But anyway, my point was when they said about your avatar, it made me think about the funky color hair that I'm trying to get. But it's damn highlights are too expensive.
Oh, I just picked one because I have blue eyes. They're just like this. No, they're not. Well, maybe they're
Like
piercing. I've been told I have the eyes of a husky.
Huskies have pretty eyes. They do have pretty eyes.
Yeah, so I have eyes of a husky and naturally strawberry blonde hair that sometimes I dye a different kind of red that's more brown because I don't like the orange. It becomes orange, like royal orange in the summer, like orange.
But I think I'd be happy if I had red hair. My hair is blonde. I mean, like my real hair. Well, now it's blonde
Yeah,
and gray. But I mean, my real hair color is
yeah. Well, that's kind of eventually happened to me too.
yeah. I started dyeing my hair in high school, so I have been red
Yeah.
since then.
Well,
But
usually like lighter colors is easier,
yeah, it's
because if
definitely
you because well, I mean, if you got darker hair, you can totally go goth. But I mean, people I knew that were in the goth scene that wanted to dye their hair lighter, like put streaks and stuff. It was more of an ordeal when they had
yeah.
naturally
You have
black
to
hair.
bleach it. It's hard to get the
Yeah, you
color
have to
out.
bleach the strands and then you have to dye them, and it seems like a pretty big ordeal.
Well,
Whereas
that's what I
mine always takes color pretty easy, so because it's light.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, mine takes color easy too, but I did have to when I got it highlighted, I had to get it bleached because it had to pull the red out that would like the red dye that was in it the out. And it was funny too though, because some
Yeah.
of it didn't want she had just done it, didn't want to come out. So like some of the streaks that were gonna be like yellow and orange, like they ended up pink because it didn't take it all out, but it actually looks
Oh,
pretty cool. I liked it.
yeah, look
I'm like, I
cool.
like this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I just it kind of sucks they don't show up on the camera because I've tried to show like you can see it's highlighted, but you can't tell it's yellow. It all looks red. Not that it looks
Oh,
bad, it just you can't see the color.
I thought I
But
thought
I
one I
wanted
thought one
something
time
more
I thought
funky.
one time when I saw you, I could actually see those because I could see that you had highlights.
Yeah, probably was when it was first done. It just doesn't always show up. But
Oh,
I
yeah,
wanted more funky and was afraid to go too funky because I do the interviews and stuff. And then after I got it done, I was like, I wanted more, and it didn't
yeah,
have as much as I wanted. And it's like I can't afford to get it done again for a while. It's expensive.
yeah.
But um, but yeah, I wanted fire flame color was the point. But yeah, I got to cut
Well, I used
too.
to dye my hair that power red, that like Ariel Little Mermaid power
Yeah,
red.
yeah. I was thinking I
But the
have
problem
like
with
some of my
power red is that every
red.
time you wear something, like a friend of mine let me borrow like her like kind of military looking like Victorian blouse, and I'm glad she let me keep it because even though I've been washing my hair, a little of the pink came
Oh,
out
it
on
came
it.
out in it. Yeah, you don't wanna do
Yeah,
that. Be
it's like
careful.
too much, you know.
But no, I have a couple of the little streaks or the color red I think you're talking about. I've thought before about getting it all that color. That is a pretty color, but it's a
Yeah,
lot. I don't know. I had a hard time. Got my hair cut. Well, I mean, not that I don't get my hair cut like trimmed, but I got my hair cut for the first time like a I guess now it's been a few months, which is probably
yeah,
like the first time I had it cut since I don't know, at least 10 years probably because I've always just let it go as
yeah,
long as it'll go. And I got
mhm,
it like layered and I was like terrified to do it because I never cut it. And I finally
yeah,
got it
yeah.
shorter now because it's layered, easier to deal
Yeah,
with.
I never cut mine. I always get compliments on it, so
Yeah. Well, no, I just
my
am
hair's
always
like
like,
really, really curly if I like don't flatten it. It's just like brave hair. It goes all
no,
brave.
yeah, my issue is mine's kind of like half curly. Like if I leave it and
Oh,
let it go
yeah.
curly, I have one of those hair where like it'll be curly in one spot and straight in another spot, and then it
Yeah.
drives me nuts, and it's like too hard to
Mhm.
keep all curly. So I generally straighten it,
Yeah.
and it's
My
like
hair goes
easier.
curly if I wash it, but if I sleep on
Right,
it,
right. When
it
it's
gets
wet,
kind of weirdly frizzy in parts and weirdly
yeah,
curly in others. And yeah, I
yeah,
understand.
yeah. Well, my hair is also heavy because it's so long too. I think that if I cut it shorter, it would probably curl easier. But
Mm,
but at least the front's shorter now, even if the back's still long.
yeah.
But
Apparently my hair length is called mermaid length, so
that's cool. I mine never would go as long as I'd like it to. Like it
yeah.
always at a certain point it stops growing.
Yeah, mine stopped at mermaid length, so
Yeah.
it's just enough to cover the tatas a little bit.
It's what?
Just enough to cover like mermaid length is just enough to cover if you were a mermaid in a movie and you didn't want to
Oh,
show
cover
anything.
the top. Okay, I see what you mean. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's what they
Mine
call it, mermaid length.
I see. Mine's still just as long as it was. It's just it's layered now.
Yeah.
And it makes it lighter. So it's better for headaches, that's for sure.
Yeah, my hair's pretty thick. I mean, I thought about doing that, but then I don't know. I just didn't.
Well, I wasn't going to, but I wanted something different. And whenever I
Yeah.
added like the
Uh-huh.
funky colors, I decided to do that. And so it was a little different. We are really getting off topic, aren't we? I hope people still
Yeah.
like it. They seem to like the conversation, so I'm like, I'll keep talking about random
You
shit, but
okay
that's what I
about
feel
that,
like I'm doing.
luncher?
No, yeah, I know. I saw that he is a he. So at least I picked the right. I just always do that, and I'm like, I hope I'm saying the right thing because I tend to just I don't know for whatever reason randomly choose one and shouldn't do
Yeah.
that. It's a bad habit. Like I've said, I think I said to you that
Yeah, but
before.
there was
People think I'm a guy when
yeah.
they see sci-fi vision, so I'm used to people doing it to me.
Well, that's a stereotype.
Yeah, it is. No, it is. But whenever I'm like in an online thing, they always
Mhm.
do. But like I was in when I was in Discord before though, I had a picture of Tom Ellis as my icon because it was when I liked Lucifer. And they're like, "Well, you have
Mhm.
a male icon." I'm like, "Yeah, but it's a picture of like an actor I like." So that's why my Discord icon is now a fairy. if anybody
A lot of
wonders. That's
people have pictures of their cats, but they don't think that
that's
they're
true.
cats.
That's true. Well, no,
Or
mine
maybe
mine
they do.
mine became a fairy, so it was a female avatar. That was why I changed it.
Mm.
But and then I just kind of actually I have a steampunk fairy on my one of
Well,
the
I
fairies.
changed mine around. I use a giraffe, you
You
know,
change your
sometimes.
icons all the time. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't mean I
I
feel
think
like I'm a
I
giraffe.
I think just because like I use stuff on social media, like it you don't I don't want to keep changing it so like people don't
Yeah.
remember what icon or whatever it is. I'm a cat and male cat. I'm trying to type this with my paws.
Okay.
That's great, Muncher. That's great.
Yep. Steampunk also gets its fair share of furries too.
It does. Yeah. We have, I
Yeah.
know, a big furry community here in near Pittsburgh. They have like a big furry thing going on. Not now, but I mean, like I've seen where they've had like conventions going on in Pittsburgh with furries.
Yeah.
No, not really my thing. But I've always wanted to like cosplay or something. I just never do. I've
Yeah.
like when I went to the Harry Potter park, I had a costume my grandma made, but that was like about as much as I when I went to a couple of those conferences, that was about as much as I ever did. I'm sorry, furry furries. Furry
You
people. I
know,
don't know.
furries,
I was
you
gonna say I don't
know.
know if it's furry what. It's just furries. Yeah, I don't know. Not my scene. But
Yeah, but if you
but I
go to if you go to these steampunk cons, they have like a whole area of free stuff, and then there's a person that'll like make you an outfit from those three free items that people have donated.
oh, that's kind of cool.
I got a
Thank you.
Victorian jacket for free.
That's neat. That's fun.
It was made from the same company I bought another jacket from. It has the same buttons, except it's brown corduroy as opposed to like a burgundy cotton.
I see. I see. That's cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
so
know.
people come there and they don't have an outfit, and this woman just takes these bits and pieces because a lot of steampunks do stuff through thrift stores and makes them an outfit, and
That's
they
really cool.
look
It's
really
nice.
good.
That's cool. She does that.
And to answer your question, Muncher Luncher furries are I'm
Yeah, I
assuming
wasn't sure if that was
people. I don't see them, but I assume
sarcasm.
they're people who like to dress up as animals, kind of like the mascots are on sports teams, animals like that, and have a persona, which is their persona. That's their animal.
Yeah. Yeah. That would be the basic definition. I
And
don't
then
know. I never
they put a top hat and monocle with it, and then they're in the steampunk con. They put a little
yeah,
vest on.
that's true. I don't know. I never knew anything about furries until they were on CSI, and I thought that they were all. I don't know if you see, but I thought they were like all like that kind of furry, and I didn't know like anything about them. But there's that kind of furry too, but they're not all anything more than that. Some of them are just furries.
I don't know if
But
the
yeah,
Yeti would be considered a furry or not. The one that was
I
on the
don't know.
dance floor.
I do not know. I do not know. But it'd be cool. They need to have like a big from convention. That's what I think. Except with my
Yeah,
luck, it would be nowhere near here, and I wouldn't be able to go because it's never near me.
they have
Nothing's
it in
at
Canada. They should have it where they film it.
yeah, that's not near me.
I
But
know
yeah,
it's not near me either. That'd
no,
be
but
a
I'm
cool
just
place to
saying,
have it.
no, it would be, but I'm just saying, like the things are never near me. I mean, hardly ever. It's always like it's someplace that you need to fly to, and it's too much to go.
Yeah.
But
Well, Chicago's not too far away from me, so that's one.
no, I'd still have to fly.
Detroit is another.
Yeah.
Toronto's 8
No,
hours.
I have driven to Detroit in the past, but it was like I
Yeah.
think 8 hours.
Uh-huh.
Same thing. Toronto is like really far too,
Yeah.
but yeah, I haven't been to a convention in a while. Like I said before, I went to the one that was at Pittsburgh, the one Steel City Con,
Yeah.
that's about a year ago. I couldn't do anything for a while because when I had hurt my foot, but I did do that. But other than that, I haven't really. I don't know. I haven't really gone to any conventions in a while. I'd like to do that. It's fun, but
I
it's
just
been
go to them because they're like, we used to have a dedicated steampunk group in the city. And then
yeah,
it kind of it was slowly falling apart around 2019, but then COVID kind of put the last like nail in the coffin for a while.
yeah,
And
yeah.
there's several
COVID's
people that want to kind of restart it, but the restarts never completely restart.
yeah.
But we used
I
to
get
meet in a pub like twice a month, and those were great. We
that's
didn't have to go to a convention. We just all dressed up. So it was just a pub full of steampunks or pirates. There's some air pirates. I mean, you get the different types of air pirates. You get mermaids because we had some mermaids at the con that were swimming in the pool.
That's cool. Yeah, I do like steampunk aesthetic. I mean,
Yeah.
like I said, I haven't dressed up like that, or I don't per se have any other than jewelry. I don't really have anything
Yeah.
steampunk, but I do like steampunk.
It's pretty easy. I could dress you up if you were around here, and I could put clothes on you.
I'm not a Barbie, but thank you. No, yeah, that
I'll
would be
throw
fun.
clothing at you and say, "Put this on," because I've done
Yeah,
it with
but
my other
yes,
friends
please.
before.
That's a little better description. No, but in seriousness, no, that would be fun. I would enjoy that. I just, like I said, I've never. The most I've done is dressed up for a Harry Potter conference. I think
Yeah.
maybe when I was younger, I dressed up. Well, I used to dress up as Scully when I was like really young, and I was like
Yeah.
a young teenager. When I went to the X-File conventions, I dressed up. But that was those two things have been the extent of my costumes other than Halloween. Oh, I have a bad Halloween story. I'm bad
Oh,
because it's a
sure.
bad memory of a Halloween story. Okay,
Sure.
so I love X-Files. I'm obsessed with X-Files. I've always been obsessed with it. Okay, so
What's X-Files?
X-Files, yeah.
I've never heard of it.
I didn't know if you
What
were
is
being
that?
serious or not. It came out of my mouth weird, so I wasn't sure. But
Oh.
I had there is this guy who's in it who plays the character Conundrum. His name's the Enigma. And I don't know if you know who that is, but he in real life, he has puzzle pieces tattooed all over his whole body. I think it's like 90.
Yeah, he's a sideshow, like Jim
Yeah,
Rose.
he's cool.
Sideshow.
He's
Yeah.
really nice too. I met him and his wife
Yeah.
a long time ago at a show, a Halloween show. But anyway, so I for whatever reason I think the reason was I had seen him at his show and I had like a shirt that I bought that had like him and his wife on it. And anyway, I had this brilliant idea. I was going to tattoo. I was going to tattoo my face. No, I was going to paint the puzzle pieces on my face. I was going to paint it like that. And I did it. I spent like a long time. I by hand painted all these puzzle pieces. I was so happy I did this. It was like cool. And I had combat boots, which was where it went wrong. That was where it started. It went wrong. I put on the combat boots and I was going to show my neighbor who I was friends with. And I stepped down off the porch and I tripped and I fell.
No.
And I smashed my face into our not driveway, what do you call it? Sidewalk pavement.
Oh.
I was lucky I didn't break my nose. I cut the edge of my nose. My face was pouring
Oh my
blood.
God.
And it's covered in blue and black paint while it's pouring blood. So I was trying to wash it off, but we had to go to the emergency room. So I went to the emergency room, partially covered in blue and black paint, blood everywhere. That was bad.
Jeez,
That was not a fun Halloween. It did not end well. I mean, I can laugh about it now, but that was painful. I mean, I am really lucky I didn't break my nose the way I felt because I fell face first. I think I twisted my ankle too because I remember I didn't wear boots for a while after that, but because they were like like chunky heels. But to be fair, I am a very accident prone person. I am the person that gets hurt doing things all the time because I trip over something. Yeah, I'm the person that falls up the stairs. I have fallen going upstairs before too. So yeah. Anyway, that was a bad night. It started out okay. I never even got a picture. I remember being upset. I'm like, I spent hours on that and never even got a picture before all that happened. So yeah. That was an interesting Halloween. I spent the night in the emergency room. There's a lot of people on Halloween that go to the emergency room.
It was probably an interesting experience.
Yeah. I just remember being there, and it's just like one of those experiences that sticks out in your mind. But yeah, it hurt. And thankfully, I mean, once they washed the blood off, I just had like a cut, and I think because it was on my face, it made it bleed really bad. Because like the underside of my nose had a cut, but. Other than that, I was fine. It just wasn't a good experience. So yeah,
pride was wounded.
But yeah, my pride was wounded. No, it was fun, but I never did it again. I never repainted it after that.
Yeah.
Kind of like a little sour after that, but I mean, it was gonna be fun. I liked the paint job. I thought it came out really good too. So that kind of sucked, but there you go. So yeah. I don't know. I wish I had like a Halloween party to go to. I haven't gone to a Halloween party in like forever,
To find one.
Yeah, I should.
Make one.
I don't know. I don't know though I don't know. I could, but I
Yeah.
don't know what
I
I
mean,
do for the
mine's
whole.
more that I already had a bunch of Victorian stuff already because I'm kind of like a little Victorian goth kid, so I have all the things already.
I see.
They're part
Yeah,
of my like day to day. I mean, I don't do it as much as I did when I was younger, obviously, but I mean, I love blow up blouses. I love like lacy velvet things, and
yeah, that's cool.
you
No,
know,
that would be
so.
fun though. I was thinking of some of the Halloween parties I've been to, but
Hmm.
never had my own party because I was thinking when I said that somebody there was something. What were we? We went to something where they had a costume contest and somebody won.
Yeah.
They dressed as a big penis. That's what I'm remembering. That's
It's
the
right.
memory that's sticking out about that party is the person that won the contest.
Yeah,
Like,
sounds
I think
right.
it was like inflatable or something. I can't even remember. Like, have you seen those ones now? They have like with the dinosaurs that are like
Yeah,
humongous. It was like that,
yeah,
but
those are cute. But it was a penis.
it was an inflatable penis. I just remember that was years ago.
That's
Sorry,
frightening.
this is what
That's so
happens when
frightening.
I go off topic. I talk about weird
That's
shit.
fine. That's fine.
This is what people get.
That's what the public wants.
That's what
Get the
guys
people
want.
what they want.
I'll keep talking till I'm tired, but I don't know. I don't know. To me, it's not interesting. Although I don't know. Maybe they want to hear about me falling on my face and.
I could show clips of hamster wars.
Yeah, I do that.
I made a
Um,
point to take photos and video because I never
that's
do
cool.
because
I'd like to see that
I'm always
stuff.
doing workshops. I'm always really busy. But I went to the fashion show and I never go to the fashion show and I took pictures of the fashion show, you know. Because one, I feel like more people want to ask now for consent for photos, and I feel the people at the fashion show don't care if I take pictures of them.
Yeah, that's true.
So-
I know I
And
do
I
that
mean,
too.
we're always
Like,
asking people
you
if
have
it's
to trust
okay, you
people
know.
and you have to
Yeah.
ask. Yeah.
Especially people that have kids and stuff. It's like you don't want to like post all that stuff. I wouldn't post online anyway. It's usually just for me to show a couple of people, like friends.
Right.
And
But
but I
yes,
even know I know people
fashion.
that do video stuff, like go to Renaissance Fair and they blur out kids' faces because they're like, the kids should just have their childhood and they shouldn't have to be posted online everywhere,
Right. Yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah, you should ask, especially if it's a kid.
Mhm. But
That's why I
most
feel like at
steampunks want
Halloween I've like
most
wanted to
steampunks want
do
a photo taken of them though, like 99.9%.
yeah, most people don't care, but you should always
Yeah, they're
ask.
there to be seen.
Yeah, very true. But yeah. Yeah, I went to the at the cosplay contest or whatever that they had at the
Yeah.
one convention. I went and did photos of that, but it would be fun, but need to go to a convention first, then worry about the costume, right?
Yeah.
But I forget what I was
There'd
gonna
be
say. I lost
something
my train of
around you
thought.
somewhere.
Oh,
I
I'm
mean,
sure there is.
I told my
I don't
boyfriend
live
that
in,
because he used to live in Pennsylvania. He's like, there's stuff all around everywhere in
well,
Pennsylvania.
but he probably like didn't you? I thought you said he lived near Philly though, didn't you? Because that's the other
Yeah.
side of
He
the state.
lived near
That's like
Philly, but
hours
his
from.
parents live out in the middle of nowhere and they have a few things they can
Okay,
go
because
to.
I mean, I'm not in the middle of nowhere per se, but I'm not in the city, so there's not a lot of stuff that
Yeah.
happens. Not usually, but yeah, that would be fun. I just haven't done anything like
How
that in a
far
long time.
away are you from Philadelphia?
No, Philadelphia is the other side of the state. I'm
Oh,
hours from
really?
that. Yes, I'm closer to Pittsburgh than Philadelphia, but I'm still not
Huh.
that close to Pittsburgh. So no, I'm near Ohio actually. I'm closer to. I mean,
There's
I'm
stuff
in
that happens in
Pennsylvania.
Ohio, like Cleveland, Cincinnati,
Yeah, but that's you're still talking hours drive.
Columbus.
You're still
Well,
talking
that's what you gotta
multiple
do.
hours of
I just
driving.
drove 4.5 hours to like the other side of Chicago, not the east
Yeah,
side, all the way across Chicago to the west side.
I need a car before I can do that.
Yeah, that's the point. Well, some people
That's
take the train and stuff. I knew a few
that's
people that took the train from Detroit to Chicago.
yeah, you probably could. It's just
Yeah.
hard to get like a train or something like that unless you're in the city. That's what I've discovered because I've looked into
Yeah.
doing that before. But like unless you take like an Uber somewhere, which you're going to spend a lot if you go that far, there is almost
Yeah.
we don't have like a bus station even right here. Like, is there one near here?
Really?
Probably. I mean, I'm sure there's some like one sort of near here, but not like right here because that's what I said. I don't live in the city. I don't even know. I mean, I'm sure there's a bus stop somewhere near here, but not. I haven't really looked into exactly where because it was like it wasn't close enough that it was like super close. You had to drive a bit to get there.
Yeah.
So it takes a car, but
Or a plane. or a
Or
train.
no, but I meant, my point was like it took like an hour drive to get to a bus that was like that wasn't like just around town. You know what I mean? It was
Where
like, it
are
was when I
you?
looked it up before. No, when I looked it up before, it was like in order, because I was looking, I forget where I was looking at going, New York, I think. And it was like in order to get a bus that would take me from like directly to New York, like it was like an hour drive to get to the whatever it was,
The
the
station.
place that had, that a station that did trips like that. At least when I had looked before. Now this was probably a decade ago. I'm not saying there's not now, but that's what I'm saying. Like I don't live right in the city, so you have to usually drive to Pittsburgh if you're gonna take a long trip, unfortunately. Yeah.
That's interesting because I think I've always lived on that main drag in Michigan where like you can just take the Amtrak and it will stop at all the cities.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah,
I don't think we have
like same thing with when I lived in San Diego. There was no one that stopped at all the places that I need to be.
No, I'm not. Like I said, I'm not in the city. I remember the first time I took subway in Pittsburgh. I went with my cousin. We went on the subway. I remember that. Yeah, you gotta really be in the city for a lot of that. You just don't think about it when you're in the city because you're used to it. But there's not like big stations around here or anything. I'm sure there's some somewhat close, but I just, like I said, I mean, at least at the time.
I guess another thing is I've always lived in college towns or towns that
Oh,
have
okay,
universities, so they have good mass transit.
Yeah, when I was going to college, I mean, there was
Yeah.
places near it because then I was sort of in the city and it was a lot easier to get around. But where I'm at now, not so much. I'd have to. Although I guess you could go up towards college, not too far from the college I went to, but
Yeah.
I need a car. That's what I need.
Yeah.
People send me a car. No, I'm just teasing, but
crowdfunding.
yeah, crowdfunding.
No, I mean crowdfunding. You get a car, you can make more videos because you can go more places and make videos.
Yeah, exactly, people.
It's an
I
investment.
can make videos live on location, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I remember I had thought of doing like when I was going to the convention before, I had thought it might be fun to do like live videos from the convention, like from the convention floor.
Yeah.
You know, that people do. I thought of doing that before, but I never ended up doing it. I don't know. That's why I wonder sometimes if like people would be interested in hearing like about we talk about like the interviews, but I mean the interview like go up, so it's not like you can't see the interview. So I'm not sure if like hearing about conversations is fun because you can watch the conversation. But yeah, I don't know. It's something. I just need to do better budgeting my sleep time.
Which you're not really doing well right now.
I talk about falling on my face and about getting tattoos and all kinds of weird stuff because I get hyper when it's 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah, I understand that. Kind of nocturnal.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
But I've been getting up early because I've been going to, because events start at 10 a.m. and you want to eat breakfast before then, so it's like,
Yeah, I know. It's a bad cycle though, because you go to bed late and then you stay up late, or you get up late, and it just keeps getting worse sometimes. But
yeah,
and it is. I know we've been talking for a while. It is after 2 though, so I think probably pretty soon we ought to wrap it up and get some sleep. But like I said, everybody, please come back tomorrow night at 10 for our Fandom Access show, and then Thursday talk to me and Scarlet again for Librarians.
I gotta catch on the Librarians.
Yep, go watch
see what those new Librarians are doing.
Yeah, it's a fun show. I think if people haven't seen it, you should watch it. You'll enjoy it. All right, everybody. Well, thank you for coming. Thank you for listening. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we appreciate you spending your time with us tonight and listening to us drone on and on.
Sure.
It's all good. All right, guys. Good night. You hang around. I want to talk to you a minute after I disconnect. Yes. All right. Good night, guys. Bye-bye. Night.